Well. So the Dallas Cowboys had their first padded practice today. And it's strange how the tone of the practice changed once there started being some physicality. And now that we got some physicality, we are starting to see that this Christian Parker defense, while it's just the first padded practice, this Christian Parker defense is already looking a whole lot better than they did last year around this time. But nevertheless, this is going to not only help the Dallas Cowboys defense, but even more so, it's going to help this Dallas Cowboys offense to start doing things a little bit, getting used to this kind of pressure in practice. And now it's going to put pressure on them now to even tighten up even more and execute before the season starts. Oh yeah, y'all better believe iron sharpens iron. And this practice is telling me these Cowboys are in for a great season. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. What is going on? It is Monday. I hope you're having a fun day. What is going on, Cowboys Nation? We had the Dallas Cowboys first padded practice. And to say it was hitting, man, that is an understatement. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great content coming up on this channel this season. Now let's talk facts. Man, the show is going to be packed today. And I don't have as many segments, even though there may be some that comes up while we're live. The amount of plays that the Cowboys media put out today, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Put out a whole lot of clips today, and there was a whole lot of hitting going on in the Cowboys practice. So this is going to be our show for the day. We're going to look at Brian Schottenheimer's press conference. Brian Schottenheimer, it's always interesting to hear Brian Schottenheimer's press conference and then watch what happened that day at practice. It's always interesting. Also, we're going to talk about who won practice and look at an article from DallasCowboys.com talking about the takeaways from today's padded practice. Then, I don't know if y'all seen it, there is a plan that has come down for Dak Prescott in this preseason and what he's basically going to be doing in the preseason games. Then, quick hit, Cowboys roster moves. What we're going to talk about is not going to surprise us. We're going to talk about the latest Jadeveon Clowney move. We're going to look at an article and see what this means for the Dallas Cowboys. And then we are going to get to our practice highlights. And as a matter of fact, I got Rashawn Gary talking after practice. We're actually going to slide in a couple of interviews that we didn't get a chance to listen to over the last couple of days. We'll probably fit those in too. And anything else that may come down on DallasCowboys.com, I'm kind of waiting on some players to come and talk over there too. But hey, this is the show today. Man, we got a great show for today. The Cowboys practice highlights, absolutely electric. I know y'all are going to enjoy those. So that's our show. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. Let's get a quick roll call in. Let's get this roll call in for today. All right, I guess this is gonna work. All right, hold on, here we go. Roll call for the day. Dolores Ennis, what is going on? Oh yes, Dolores. It's gonna be a great season. Ready for it to start too. Jacob Jackson in the building. What up, Jacob Jackson? Bass is in the building. What up, Bass? John Henry, what's going on? Big Chuck. What up, Big Mouse Dog? Marlon Dillard, what's going on? Dak Prescott said, welcome to Let's Talk Cowboys. When we talk facts, come in, hit the like button, let your opinion be heard, and also please keep the chat clean. Appreciate you, Dak Prescott. Well, I tell you this, you might have to change that name, because Dak is saying he got no stress this year. Yeah. Tommy Solo, what is going on? He said, best channel on YouTube. Appreciate you. Man, I'm ready to see some more Michael Trigg myself. I'm ready. Ryex, a fan, what's going on? Listening, he said, been listening to practice all day. Yes, sir. Defense went stupid today. Gwen Bowden, everything. Hope all is well with you. Good to see you. Lynn from the 903. What up, Lynn? Carl Williams, what is going on? K Choice, what's going on? All right, Cowboys fans, we're going to check out everybody else as they come in. What is going on? Tommy Solo, Jerome Miller, what is going on? Man, I am ready for some football. I don't know about y'all. Ready for some football. But I'll tell you this. This Dallas Cowboys training camp, give yourselves a hand, best chat on YouTube. This Dallas Cowboys training camp, it's already been great. The Dallas Cowboys training camp has been absolutely great. It's kind of amazing what happens when you have a quiet, productive, and active offseason. Because you don't got a lot of the drama. Not only do you not have a lot of the drama coming out of the Cowboys facility, but you don't even get the chance to have the drama coming from the media, coming from maybe content creators, whatever the case may be. It's just been so business. It's just been so business, man. It's just been so gratifying, man. I don't know about anybody else. It's been so good to just be focusing in on football. And, you know, that's really what this camp, you know, for the most part, that's what this training camp has been all about. It has just been all about the football. And I love that. I love that. And so this training camp to me, because there's been no disruptions, it actually seems like now just, I don't know if it's a continuation of last year's training camp, but it's just like, okay, we're just business now. And everything is just flowing so smooth. I don't know how to put my finger on it, but it's just been so smooth. And I'm enjoying it. I'm sorry, I'm enjoying it. I don't know about anybody else. What's up, Sexy Suze? Good to see you. Ripple, Marlon Dillard, what's going on? It's just been a breath of fresh air as it applies to the Dallas Cowboys so far. And so, before we get into our first segment, I want to play something for you from Jimmy Johnson. And I think we've played this before, but again, you know why the Cowboys won Super Bowls in the 90s when you listen to Jimmy Johnson. And I think we're starting to hear some of these same things come out of Dallas. But to listen to Jimmy Johnson and just look at what's going on with the Cowboys right now, it just gets you excited. And it seems like this is the kind of coaching that we're finally getting back in Dallas. Shout out Davion Wallace, what's going on? Lenny Cabal, D. Cuz Worley, what up? Mike said this. What is going on? Good to see y'all today. This is Jimmy Johnson. This is Jimmy Johnson. Back in the day. Check out Jimmy.
It was a hard season. People expected us to win another Super Bowl. We expected to win another Super Bowl, but it wasn't easy. The Emmett holdout, all the things, overcoming all the different demands of different people. I told Bill Belichick, he came down after his first Super Bowl, and we're close friends. I said, the downfall of every great company country, team, whatever, everybody in the organization is going to say, what about me? I didn't get enough praise. I didn't get enough accolades. Every secretary is going to want a raise. Every scout's going to want a raise. Every player is going to want a new contract. I say that's what you're going to have to deal with. The other thing you got to deal with is human nature when you have success.
Wait. Let's deal with this part. See, I wanted to play this today, and I'm gonna play it again today also. But Jimmy is talking about expectations. And there's a saying that expectations are the robber of joy. Expectations are the robber of joy. And we got to be careful. And the reason why, you think about expectations being the robber of joy, because whenever there are expectations, you got to put the work in. You have to put the work in when there are expectations. The joy comes in knowing that you can do it, and they had already did it. But expectations can absolutely be the robber of joy if those expectations are not met. But at the end of the day, the reason why the Cowboys, he's talking about 1993 after winning the Super Bowl. See, you have to put in the work so that the expectations don't rob the joy. If you don't put in the work, the expectations will absolutely rob the joy. But if you put in the work, you will more than likely meet expectations. I'm telling you at the end of the day, and y'all have heard me say this before, man, you just got to outwork people. Bottom line, you just got to outwork people. When you're good at something and somebody else is good at something, the talent level may be negligible. The difference is going to be the heart and the work. You got to outwork people. I was talking about this yesterday in my sermon. But you can't confuse happiness with joy. Some people want a whole bunch of happenings because that brings them joy. Now, it's not the happenings that should bring you joy. It's the joy that should bring you happiness. And when it comes to joy, it's not what you gain. And this is what Jimmy is about to start talking about even more. Joy isn't about what you gain. Joy is about what you gave up. What are you willing to give up to meet the expectations? And this is where Brian is trying to get the Dallas Cowboys. This is why George Pickens is here playing on a franchise tag, because Brian has created a culture of it's not about what you get. It's about the ultimate goal that we all have, and that's winning the Super Bowl. And when you create those expectations, some people think you just sit back and kick your feet up and go, yeah, man, we're going to the Super Bowl. No, when you create these expectations, now it's time to work. Now you have to put the work in so that you achieve those expectations. Check out Jimmy on the next part.
Human nature is people get, to where they don't work quite as hard.
What did I just say? You got to put in the work. There it is. Some people don't understand. Expectations are the robber of joy for some people because they're not willing to put in the work. They're not willing to give up things. You got to give up things to get what you want. You got to do some things. I've taught my son this for years. My sons, I tell them, you got to do some things that you don't want to do the things that you want to do. Some people don't understand, man. Hard work, everybody don't want to do hard work. But the people who want to win, they might not want to do it, but they do it. They're not even happy to do it, but they do it because they know if they don't put in the work, they don't get the ultimate goal. That's the bottom line. You got to put in the work. You got to give up some things. And that's why so many people fail. Everything they do is about what they get. No, tell me what you're willing to give up to get what you want to get. This is Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson gave up his marriage. I don't advise anybody to do that. No. Don't give up your marriage. Because I couldn't achieve half the things that I've achieved without my wife. Don't give up your marriage. But Jimmy did. Jimmy gave up his marriage. Jimmy gave up his home. Jimmy gave up his life. I bet you if you ask Jimmy, I don't even know if Jimmy would be able to do that again. I've said it before. I don't even know if Jimmy would be able to do it again. I don't know if he'd do it again. But expectations require you to put in work. You got to give up some things. You got to do some things you don't want to do to achieve them ultimate goals.
They get pretty comfortable with themselves.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's no fun for the guy at the top that is demanding.
And that has to filter down, though. It comes from you to the assistant coaches,
right,
to the star, to the secretary.
And that's why it's so difficult for teams to stay at the top.
So how do you specifically handle that?
See, this is why Barry Switzer, Barry couldn't maintain what Jimmy put together. Because one thing we know about Barry Switzer, and no hate on Barry Switzer, but Barry Switzer wasn't willing to give up a lot of things. Barry Switzer just basically came in as a placeholder. He literally asked Jerry and Jimmy, how did y'all mess this up? Okay, you want me to be a coach? I'll come in here. It's a great team. I'll sit over here with my arms folded up, let this thing go on cruise control. Surely we'll get a Super Bowl surely we'll get a Super Bowl in one of these 2 years. And that's exactly what happened. Barry got a Super Bowl on cruise control, especially when when Jerry brought in Deion Sanders. But they couldn't maintain because the thing that was keeping it all together was Jimmy. And you think about, even when you talk about being a Christian or whatever it is that you do, it has to come from the top down. It never comes from the bottom up. I'm not telling you you don't have to work from the bottom up. But in order for you to work up, there must be something that you're looking up to. And this is the difference that we're watching with Brian Schottenheimer this year. Brian Schottenheimer didn't come in here like Mike McCarthy, didn't come in here like Bill Parcells. Both of those coaches, Super Bowl winning coaches, chip on their shoulder. I know how to do it. I've done it before. This is how it's done. Do this, and do this. It's a different type of hungry. See, when I've done it before, all I'm telling you is just give me what I want to move out the way. But when I haven't done it before and I'm hungry, because think about Jimmy. Jimmy was so hungry when he first came in, and it was all about championships. So now we got Brian Schottenheimer in a whole different type of league, but nevertheless, we're watching some of that same hunger in Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer wants to win a Super Bowl. And I believe the reason why Brian Schottenheimer wants to win a Super Bowl is, man, I'm telling you, it is one of the greatest reasons to ever want to win a Super Bowl. When your father was a head coach and you know how good he was, not only as a coach, but how good of a man he was, and you wanted him to get that Super Bowl and he never got that Super Bowl, and now you're following in his footsteps, you want to get that Super Bowl for your father. And I'm going to tell you something about young men. If there is one thing that young men always want to do, I can remember myself being a young boy when my mother and father were married when I was younger. I always wanted to please my father. I always wanted my father to be proud of me. That was always something that I yearned for. And you see this a lot in young men. They always want to make their father proud. Not only do they want to make their father proud, they want to carry on that name. And if there is some business that their father left undone, and their father raised them the right way, they'll say, you know what? I'm going to get this for my dad. Brian Schottenheimer, man, we are watching somebody that is driven by a championship. He is driven by legacy and doing something that his father never did. And so I love going back listening to Jimmy, because when I listen to Jimmy and then I'm watching Brian Schottenheimer, and I'm like, I see exactly what he's doing. I said it before. I've coined this phrase, the Jimmy Johnson barometer. I need to trademark it. The Jimmy Johnson barometer. Where are the Cowboys on the Jimmy Johnson barometer? As I'm listening to Jimmy, remembering what the Cowboys did, looking at what Brian is doing, looking at what he's implementing, I still say, man, we are getting real close. We're getting real close. I just see us right now. We're 1991-ish, 92-ish. It all depends on what happens over the next few weeks that could teeter us into the 1992 portion of where the Cowboys were. But I can tell you right now, I can clearly see 1991-ish. 1991, the Cowboys, I believe, won 11 games, went to the playoffs, won a playoff game, and you could tell going into 92, they were about to tear it up. And they made a couple of moves in 92 that really pushed them over the top. I'm looking at 1991-ish. I just need to see the rest of training camp and kind of some of these scrimmages. And as we get into the season, we'll see where we are. And then we'll also see, what does Jerry do? Because Jerry could actually push us into the 1992 part of the barometer.
I think, with everybody involved, if they are aware of the problems, it's a little easier to overcome. But that doesn't eliminate them. So you deal with each one of them, and then again, you've got to be demanding that doesn't get in the way of what your goal is. And your goal is to be better than you were the year before.
There it is. There it is. And I want you to think about this as we close out this segment. I don't have it up here, but I'll put it in the timestamp. But I want y'all to think about what these Cowboys have done. It's incredible what Jimmy is saying. And this is why I want to play this for you today. Have y'all noticed what the Cowboys did at the end of last season? They identified all the problems. They identified them. Matt Eberflus, the defense as a whole, and I'm talking about even the philosophy, not even blaming Matt Eberflus. The Cowboys, if you ask me, they've had a bad philosophy on defense for years. For years. They love these bend, don't break defenses. They've always went after those for years. And I never understood it. I can't stand when somebody says, yeah, bend, don't break. Yeah, problem is, bend, don't break defenses are predicated on superstar players. If you don't have superstar players on bend, don't break defenses, them things shatter. They don't break, they shatter. They shatter in big games. They shatter because they can't hold. You don't have enough superstar players, typically on bend, don't break defenses, to be able to do what you need to do in the bigger games. Those defenses shatter. Christian Parker isn't just another hire. He is a fundamental change in the way the Cowboys have been thinking for years. They finally got up to date. Young, innovative mind, a teacher, somebody up to date. They have identified so many problems. Even George Pickens, they identified a problem. Javonte Williams identified a problem. If you look at what the Cowboys have done, they have identified problems. And like Jimmy said, and once you identify the problems, you can't let the problems get in the way. Because see, what happens a lot of times when you get the problems, people don't communicate the problems. people won't ignore the problems. No, Jimmy said you identify the problems. Everybody knows the problems. Everybody works together to solve the problems while not allowing the problems to get in the way. Yeah, we've done that this offseason. They identified the problems. They addressed the problems, haven't let the problems get in the way. And we are looking at a team that is on the verge. We're looking at a team on the verge of breaking through.
And all I ask, I said, guys, I said, all I ask from you is all you have. You give me everything you got, I'll never ask for more.
What? 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 That, ladies and gentlemen, is Jimmy Johnson. That's it. That is it. People don't realize when you want to be successful, it requires all of you. Every single time. It's the same thing that God demands, and people don't like this and they don't accept it because they don't want to do it. But God even demands all of us. You can't reach the ultimate goals in life and not give up everything that you are. You have to give all of you into everything that those ultimate goals. I'm talking ultimate, the pinnacle goals. Man, you got to put everything, all of yourself. And that's why, Jimmy, it's a, you just think about what he's saying. If you give me all of you, I won't ask for anything more. Yeah, because there's nothing else left. There's nothing else left. And I'm going to tell y'all something about these Dallas Cowboys as we get into our official first segment, but our second segment. I'm going to tell y'all off the rip where I am with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to tell you where I am off the rip. Everything I've seen from the Dallas Cowboys and what I'm seeing with the Dallas Cowboys, and I know they're going to do more as the weeks go on. No matter how this season ends, I am not going to be mad at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to be mad at Jerry Jones. I'm not going to be mad at Stephen Jones. I'm not going to be coming back like I know some people are going to do. Oh, they should have got this person. They're going to be hindsighting, and if they would have got this person, if they would have got that person, and if they would have done this. No, I'm not going to do that. Because what I'm seeing with the Dallas Cowboys and what they're building toward, the Dallas Cowboys are giving it all they have. And some people say, they're not giving it all they have because they hadn't got Max Crosby. They tried to get Max Crosby. Yeah. It wasn't in their control to get Max Crosby. And Jerry said it. We didn't turn our back on the Max Crosby deal. No, the Raiders did. Jordan Brooks. The Cowboys tried to get Jordan Brooks, and people may not realize it. That wasn't the Cowboys either, and you'll see it'll come out later. That's the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, that's the Miami Dolphins. They want everything and more. The Cowboys are giving everything. They're not trying to wreck the whole franchise, but they're giving it all they have. And I don't think they're done. And so for me, my thought process is when people give it all they have and things outside of their control is the only thing that beats them, I'm sorry, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. If you give it all you got and that ain't enough, I'm satisfied. And I'm not going to go back with all the coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm satisfied. The Cowboys are on their way. There's still time to go. There is still time to go. So I'm good to go on the Cowboys. They are giving it. If you're watching these Cowboys, they are giving it all they got, and that's all you can ask for. It's just like Jimmy said. It's all you can ask for. Just give it all you got, man. Give it all you got. If you give it all you got in life, your joy will never be robbed. Especially when when it falls outside of everything you can control. You just control what you can control. Control you. And that's what the Cowboys are doing. I love it. I love it. You ain't gonna hear me coming back. I'm not gonna be no coulda, woulda, shoulda. No. I am loving what this team is doing. I'm loving what this team is doing. And they're gonna continue to do it, I believe, until they get a championship. And they're getting that championship. They're gonna get that championship this year, no later than next year. They're getting that championship. Y'all buckle up and hold on. You watch what I'm telling you. They're getting that championship. They're going to get that championship, Cowboys. Because they're doing the things that you do to get championships. And that's what people don't understand about championships. This is why Seattle snuck up on everybody. While everybody else was thinking that who did it and why come was going to win the Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks were doing what needed to be done. And they were not out of here getting high-priced free agents the way everybody else thinks that's how you win the Super Bowl. Well, the Seahawks didn't do it like that. They went out there and got players that they needed, players that fit the system. I still, I went back and I was listening to the stream we did on Cowboys After Dark on Saturday, or I guess it was Sunday morning. I was listening to the live stream. It was 4 hours for y'all who missed it. We did Cowboys After Dark. It was a Saturday at midnight, man, and I was up to 4 a.m. with Cowboys Nation, and my wife was asking me, she said, do people actually be online at 4 o'clock in the morning? I said, I don't know about people, but I know Dallas Cowboy fans do. I know Dallas Cowboy fans be up at 4 o'clock in the morning listening to and following along on Let's Talk Cowboys. But as I was going back and kind of listen to that stuff that, that we were talking about, man. And, the Cowboys are putting in some serious work. And I think about our conversation we were having about Seattle. Every time I hear people cry about these big name players, I'm sorry, Seattle didn't do it like that. And for everybody who says, we need a big-time player. Is DeMarcus Lawrence a big-time player? I mean, I would really like for somebody to tell me, do they consider DeMarcus Lawrence as a big-time player? Because the two major players the Seattle Seahawks added were Sam Darnold, who people still don't consider a top 10 quarterback. People don't even consider Sam Darnold a top 10 quarterback. They went and got Sam Darnold, and they went and got DeMarcus Lawrence. So hold on a second. The Seattle Seahawks went and got a non-top 10 quarterback, a non-top 15 edge rusher, and came away with the number one overall defense and won the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Everybody who keeps trying to tell me that if the Cowboys don't get this player and if they don't get that player, they haven't done enough. Was DeMarcus Lawrence enough? Because I guarantee you had somebody asked this question last year. Hey, was DeMarcus Lawrence enough? I was one of the people laughing when the Seahawks got DeMarcus Lawrence. I was laughing when they got DeMarcus Lawrence. But if you put DeMarcus Lawrence on a good defense, even DeMarcus Lawrence is an impact player. And we keep having these same arguments because we want a top tier player because we feel like this top tier player. Meanwhile, we keep saying we want top tier players, but we won't acknowledge that Quentin Williams is a top tier player. You have one of the top 3 defensive tackles in the game. He ain't good enough. Seattle didn't even have that. I don't understand the mentality of Max Crosby. Yeah, man, this, that. No. How about we focus on having a good team? So that if we just bring in another good player or players, those players will help this defense be better. That's what we need to be focused on. And I believe that's what the Cowboys are focused on. I'm telling y'all, don't let the Cowboys fool you. They have watched. They're not only looking at their own past, they're also looking at what the Seahawks did. And they're like, this can be done. Because I'm telling us right now, we keep talking about Max Crosby. Well, then I guess we can't win the Super Bowl without Max Crosby, even though other teams have done it ever since Max Crosby has been in the league. I'm sorry. I'm not against Max Crosby. But what I am saying is you can win the Super Bowl without Max Crosby because other teams have done it. And if we don't get Max Crosby, that don't mean that the Cowboys didn't do enough, because there are other teams who have not had Max Crosby since he's been in the league, and they've won Super Bowls too. Meanwhile, I laughed at DeMarcus Lawrence. I'll let y'all remain innocent. I laughed at DeMarcus Lawrence. The Seattle Seahawks went and got DeMarcus Lawrence, and they won a Super Bowl with him. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I would even contend Rashawn Gary is better than DeMarcus Lawrence. Yeah. Rashawn Gary is better than DeMarcus Lawrence. I'll pick Rashawn Gary over DeMarcus Lawrence even after going to the Seahawks for a Super Bowl. I'll take Rashawn Gary every single day and twice on Sunday. I'll take him. We are in, as much as we keep saying the Cowboys and Jerry needs to change, front office needs to change, and the Cowboys need to change, when I listen to certain people, they need to change too. Because they're still in a mode of where Jerry Jones was failing this team. Get us big names, Jerry. If you get us big names, we'll win. Jerry's done that for years. Jerry has brought in big names for years. And those big names have not equated in the Super Bowls. But when you get big names and you put them on good teams, that's when Jerry Jones got Super Bowls. Yeah. You bring Charles Haley onto the 1989 Cowboys, you're not winning a Super Bowl. You bring Charles Haley onto the 1990 Cowboys, you're not winning a Super Bowl. You bring Charles Haley onto the 1991 Cowboys. You might have got close, but you're not winning a Super Bowl. Hold on. But if you put Charles Haley on the 1992 Cowboys, you're going to win a Super Bowl. You put Charles Haley on the 1993 Super Bowl, you're going to win a Super Bowl. Charles Haley is on the 1994 Cowboys. Why didn't they win a Super Bowl? Because Jimmy is no longer the coach. You put Deion Sanders on the 1995 Super Bowls, even with Barry Switzer, you're going to win Super Bowls. Why? Because in 1994, they were still a good team, but the San Francisco 49ers were a better team when you think about the coaching and everything overall. So what did Jerry do to overcome that coaching? He still got Jimmy's team. He brings on Deion Sanders, and that is what tips the scale in the direction of the Cowboys. And then they couldn't win no more after that because after 1996, you can have all the talent that you want to, but you can't have deer leading lions. Can't do it. Can't do it. You can only do that. It could only last for 2 years. It was not sustainable. But I'm telling us, man, you put good players on a good team, it's different. And that's why I still say, I'm not worried about Max Crosby. Only thing, hey, Cowboys, just bring in somebody that fits the system and somebody that can contribute. Focus on continuing to help your team be better and better and better, and it's going to pay dividends. Get your players to give their all, put together the best team, and go out there and just do it, man. Just do it. All right, man, let's get to this Schotty press. Let's get to this Schotty press. Let me read a couple of comments here. Demetrius Noel said, "Gee, anyone who believes that we can't win without Max Crosby is a hopeless fan." And that's why Demetrius Noel, I'm not harping on Max Crosby. If it happens, it happens. But I still see you can win without him. Margie Oak said, "How about covering the items listed in the blue topics for the day? You're 10 minutes into your podcast, and I've yet to hear those items mentioned. Don't worry, stay tuned." They're all working in. K. Choice said, "Gee, fact, Jerry's admitted to his issues should speak volumes, but so many want to see the name of the old Cowboys. Yeah, they want to see the same old Cowboys. Sad to say a lot of fans are miserable and tired." Yeah, exactly. All right, let me read a couple more, and then I'm going to get into our first segment for today. Frank Lawrence said, "Historically, no team is a lock to win the Super Bowl." Yes, there's been some great teams that have not won the Super Bowl. To make my point, the 2007 undefeated New England Patriots are the best example. Lost to the wild card team who no one picked to even make the playoffs. Exactly. Yeah. I absolutely agree with you, Frank Lawrence. I absolutely agree with you. K. Choice, ask LeBron James. Super teams don't win, even though he's been on one or two that have. But he was failing on those super teams too. Michael Jordan never had super teams. He was just super on the team, but he never had super teams. All right. Man, let's get to our first topic.
Yes! Here we go!
Really, our second topic. This is Brian Schottenheimer today. See what Brian Schottenheimer had to say about these Cowboys.
Wants to go with this thing. I'm just saying. So,
Calvin? Sacktown, aren't you? Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Your thoughts today, what you want to see in your team first day of pads?
yeah, I want to see physical play. I want to see pad level. I want to see us work together, still stay off the ground. This is still a ramp-up mentality. It's our first time in pads. It's a review day. The way we do it, Calvin, is, first 3 days the installs were in, but, there's no mistaking why you would do a review day the first day of pads, because you don't want any guys going the wrong way, bumping into each other, stuff like that. So the normal play style that we're looking for, but really the competition piece, playing to the edge without going over the edge.
I'm going to tell you something I noticed today. I'm going to show y'all the plays if y'all haven't seen them. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you what I've noticed already. Christian Parker, unlike last year when they were doing all this vanilla talk and not showing anybody nothing, well, they're doing it different this year. They've actually installed the offense and the defense. It's actually installed. So what we are watching the Cowboys do is the actual offenses and defenses. And the thing that I'm so impressed with is the defense just, man, they're clicking. They're clicking. You're watching a defense. It's like they know exactly where they're supposed to be, what they're doing. They are giving this offense a challenge. I've noticed it from every single play. It's funny how the Cowboys offense was running wide open when there was no pads and no hitting. Now that we got pads on, they're not looking the same out there. And that don't mean that the offense isn't as good as it's supposed to be. No, that means that the defense is actually faster. This is what the Cowboys worked on in the offseason, in case people didn't notice it. They worked on a faster, quicker, and number 3, smarter defense. Quicker, faster, smarter. We're watching it if you saw the plays in practice. I'm going to show them to you if you hadn't seen them. I got pretty much a ton of these things. The defense, man, you can just tell it's not just reacting because we're athletes. No, we know what we're doing. We're lined up in the right places, and we're giving this offense issues, which I'm not worried about. We know what it's going to be in the regular season. But nevertheless, it makes the offense better.
We go an hour and a half, 2 hours, that kind of thing.
It's hour 45 today with an hour 45 max. Yep.
Health-wise, where do you stand? Thompson back?
No. PJ Locke should be close to getting back. JT's doing great. Zion's going to probably be a little bit longer. But again, all 3 of those guys are working really, really hard.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys, couple of questions. Pads, what's the message? I mean, obviously there's no tackling. How do you want them performing in pads?
Yeah, again, I think, we want to get our pads down. We want to be able to strike. There's things that you teach, in terms of we're a leverage tackling team, so the way you work and get your leverage. The difference is from going from a tag-off thing, Clarence, now we're actually going to wrap. We call it wrap and release. So you get down low, you strike, you wrap your arms, and then you release. Because if you don't have the ball carrier running, you can't get the conditioning and training, the pursuit angles and things like that. But, the guys working together. The big thing we say is, hey, stay off the ground, protect your teammates, but play with great pad level and urgency.
Not just studding up, it's studding.
Yeah, let me read some more comments. Hey, Bazzy9, what is going on? Good to see you, my brother. Right, so fan. This is the point, brother. The offense got to actually fight this training camp compared to last year. This is going to pay dividends. I said this before. I'm going to say it again. Christian Parker is actually preparing the Dallas Cowboys for a Super Bowl run. Because the defenses that we are facing, they're all run these similar type defenses to Vic Fangio. So Christian Parker is really getting us up to date. Texans, Packers, Ravens, Rams, Seahawks. I mean, these teams, the Jaguars, these teams that are going to be really good, we're already getting prepared for them in the offseason. It's going to make us that much better. And it's going to turn our offense, which is really, I think one of the things that people have said about us in the past is how we're not really a physical team. Yeah, they're talking about offense too. We're not really a physical team. Where we may be a talented team, fast team, whatever the case may be, we're not really physical. Well, Olivia Newton-John, as Olivia Newton-John said, let's get physical. These Dallas Cowboys defense, it's going to help this Dallas Cowboys offense be more physical the same way that Javonte Williams is. He's very physical. And so all of this is helping the Cowboys. It's helping them, man. It's helping them. Melvin P. said people just make whatever they want mean whatever they want. Yeah. You right. Yeah, Paul, I've been saying this too. Yeah, these rookies are going to play. On this Dallas Cowboys team, it's cool that you're the first, you're first string, but I do think you better get ready. The rookies are going to play. They're going to play. They're going to be in a rotation. Jayshon Barr, Malachi Lawrence, they're too good. They're too good to be on the bench. LT Overton, he's too good to be on the bench. This is going to be a good way for the Cowboys to stay healthy. Work those guys in. They're too good to be on the bench. Devin Moore is too good. Watch, he's going to work his way in. He's going to be too good to be on the bench. I'm telling you now, Savon Revel Jr., shoot. Man. Savon Revel Jr. is absolutely looking like a first-round draft pick, at least today. Man, this dude looking good. Bass said, yeah, Fangio's defenses have always gotten the better of Dak Prescott for the most part. Yeah. Yep. Fangio runs a very good defense. Even though Dak Prescott sliced him up last year. Dak Prescott sliced him up last year, though. But nevertheless, man, this is going to, and Bass, you make a good point, but just imagine, had Dak Prescott been practicing against Vic Fangio's defense every week, how much better would Dak be against those Vic Fangio defenses had he been practicing against a Christian Parker? Oh, he gonna look different. You watch what I tell you. Dak gonna look different. See, people don't understand what practice is for. See, practice is for you to get it right. Some people think you're supposed to have everything right in practice. Well, that's not, yeah, you want to get everything right in practice, but also the point of practice is to practice getting it right so that you can kind of get your timing right. You can you can understand the nuances of how those defenses work and kind of how they're thinking. You make a mistake 2 or 3 times, you go, okay, I see how this thing is working. Then you come back and you figure out another way to beat it. So Christian Parker is helping Dak Prescott in ways, man, the people don't even understand yet. Boy, you think Dak Prescott was good last year. Wait until you see what Dak Prescott looks like this year going up against Christian Parker an entire football season. Dak is going to be ready. This team is going to be ready for a playoff run and a Super Bowl run. Watch what I tell you. Let me read a couple of comments here real quick. Mr. Get Dirty in the building. What up, Mr. Get Dirty? Appreciate your football gospel at its finest. Yeah. Rox fan said, I've never seen a statue where the guy has a visor on, but we're all going to see one built in front of the AT&T Stadium of Schotty when he gets that Super Bowl. Man, let me tell you something. And I tell you this, Rox fan, if he don't get one, tell you what, boy, but hey, better be careful. Dak Prescott may definitely get one. Mike said this: offensive tackle is a big concern. We'll see on the 11th. We're gonna see on the 11th. Yeah, we'll see on the 11th. No doubt about it.
Wrapping.
It's going to be a little bit more of a wrap. Yep.
Last week was a lot of teamwork. Will you do any pass rushing drills, one-on-one drills, any of that sort of stuff?
That's coming tomorrow. Yep, that's coming tomorrow. So today, again, first day in pads. You want to get these guys used to carrying their pads. You know, they're all probably making sure they fit right and things like that. But tomorrow we'll get into some of that.
Brian, Todd Archer with ESPN.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate it. A lot of talk about GOTI, greatest offense there is, and things like that. What, in your mind, what has to happen for that to become a reality?
One, we got to evolve. I mean, we have to change the things that we didn't like last year, that we didn't do very well. We got to find ways to complement the things that we did well. We need, a couple more guys to continue to step up, not named Pickens and Lamb, and that's the Flournoys of the world. It's some young tight ends, Jaden Blue, things like that. And then, I've been very open and honest. I really do believe that this offense is going to be driven by our offensive line, our ability to move people.
Schotty. Yep. Schotty is talking about a team. People don't like this conversation because they're convinced themselves that Max Crosby, Jordan Brooks, or any other player is the player that takes us over the top. Nope. You got to put together a team so that if you bring in a player, he helps you to be better and he pushes the team maybe over the top. But he's saying something. When you go to the Super Bowl, that's why if you notice, a lot of Super Bowl teams don't have a lot of Pro Bowl players. Sometimes you get teams that do. But a lot of times, in 1992, we looked at it the other day, the Dallas Cowboys had the #1 overall defense. And do you know they didn't have anybody go to the Pro Bowl? Let that sink in. Their 1992 defense, no Pro Bowlers. Their 1993 defense, top 5, I believe, top 10, top 5. 3 Pro Bowlers. How does that happen? Easy. When your team plays together as a team. Yeah. Your team. Your team. That's what it's all about. Your team. Nothing can be greater than the team. This is what Brian is talking about. Yeah, we need other people to step up other than the big names. Ryan Flournoy. Ryan Flournoy is about to become a big name. Who's going to be the next big name receiver, as in the 4th receiver? Who's going to be that name? Who's going to be that next tight end other than Jake Ferguson? Because we need another tight end. We need more people to step up and stand in the gap and make this into what we want it to be, a team.
Our ability to knock people back in the run game, our ability to pass protect, I think that's incredibly critical, and we've got a few position battles going there. So I love it. I love the confidence, but we have to go out and do it.
How do you go about anticipating what opposing defenses might try and do? Is that an off-season study for your guys? Or all right, this is what they did. Now they've seen this. They have a book a little bit. You got to anticipate?
Yeah, I mean, what you do is you study. I mean, we all do it. There's no secret. All 32 of us look at, okay, who are the great offenses, who are the great defenses. You study them. Everybody does it, and everybody's got their plans of, okay, hey, here's how we want to play the Cowboys. Here's how we want to attack, the Eagles, whatever. You look at people that have had success against them. And so,
what up, Brandy, Steve White?
we do
What
it.
up,
We know
Ryan
teams
Dawg?
do it to us, and that's why we're constantly looking at ways of evolving. And part of the way to evolve is to have great marriage with your runs and passes on offense, and the disguise element on defense is a huge part of that in terms of keeping the offense guessing.
We read a couple comments here, and I told y'all before, this is what I'm waiting on with Brian Schottenheimer. I want to see him do what he did in Seattle. A lot of people think that Brian Schottenheimer is a running offensive coordinator. And they even say, yeah, he's playing Marty ball. No, I don't think he is. Schotty got his own thing going right now. Schotty's got his own thing going. He's running out of that 11 personnel. He's got his own thing running. Marty would have loved to have been able to do that, I would assume, but Schotty's got his own thing going because he's got such prolific wide receivers. When you got wide receivers like the Cowboys and a quarterback like Dak Prescott, you can be dominant out of 11 personnel. So Schotty is doing something different. So I want to see him do what he did in Seattle. People would think he ran because he bragged about his first year in Seattle, how much he ran. Well, he ran less in his second and third season. And that offense opened up more in his second and third season. And every year they got farther and farther. What was it? 10 wins in his first season, 11 wins in his second season, 12 wins in his third season. And in one of them seasons, they actually should have went probably should have went further than they did, other than a fluke play that stopped them from getting what they were trying to achieve. But we're going to see. I'm telling y'all, man, Schotty did it in Seattle. He did it in Seattle. So I want to see him do it in Dallas. So we've already seen some of this stuff in practice. We've seen him trying to practice a screen game. I've noticed we've seen running backs coming out of the backfield, catching passes. Jaden Blue, Phil Maffa, Javonte Williams on the screen, the pitch. We're already seeing him trying to evolve it, moving George Pickens around. We're going to see what happens with and the person who I really want them to expand this offense on is, okay, one, can we figure out something to do with Hunter Lipke? Jaden Blue is already a part of the plan. Can we work in Michael Trigg? Can we work in Michael Trigg? Can we do it? Darren Posey, our comic relief, is in the building. What up, Darren Posey? Appreciate that $20 super chat today, my brother. Appreciate you. Let me see. Darren Posey said, gee, what frustrates me is that some of this fan base thinks we're supposed to have Pro Bowl players at each position. If the ball, oh yeah, I love it. Let me keep reading. He says, if the ball doesn't bounce the correct way, a little luck, injury-free, you still won't win. Hey, it's a whole lot more that you need, bro. Yeah. Hey, Darren Posey. And to prove your point, I got a story about a big-name player. I'm going to attach a story to Jadeveon Clowney. See, people don't understand, man. You're battling attrition, Darren Posey. Even if you go get a player. People were mad when Jerry Jones said this last year. Just because you pay a player don't mean you're going to have him. Oh, and the media was like, oh, Jerry is so mean and stupid. And he's a terrible GM. He's a terrible owner. Who would say that about a player when they're trying to sign Micah Parsons? Guess who the player was that got hurt last year after getting paid $40+ million per year for the Green Bay Packers? Guess who the player was? Micah Parsons. Do y'all know that the Green Bay Packers last year thought they were winning the Super Bowl because they got Micah Parsons? Darren Posey. And what happened to the Green Bay Packers, Darren Posey? It wasn't just Micah Parsons. Player after player after player after player on defense went down. Ask Dan Campbell. The Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't want to say they were not supposed to because they won it, and I guess what happened, what was supposed to happen happened. But let me tell you another story about 2024 and the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Had the Detroit Lions not suffered all those injuries on defense in 2024? Does anybody remember 2024 Detroit Lions before the defense started getting injured? They were running through the NFL like diarrhea. The Detroit Lions, before their defense got injured, the Detroit Lions were beating teams so bad that teams were literally complaining that Detroit shouldn't be beating them so bad. Philadelphia, before those injuries, and everybody in the NFC, Darren Posey, they had no chance against the 2024 Detroit Lions until they started getting injured. And I don't know if y'all remember. Some of y'all hadn't been with me since the beginning. But I can remember when the Detroit Lions, they beat the everlasting brakes off the Dallas Cowboys in 2024. I mean, beat the brakes off the Cowboys. Ben Johnson was running trick plays, being up by 30-something points. They sending blitzes and everything up by 30-something points. And I remember saying they had Aiden Hutchinson in the game. And I said, Campbell's going to pay for this. There's no reason to have Aiden Hutchinson in a game where you're 30 points up. There's no reason to have him in the game trying to stat pad or pad the stats. Aiden Hutchinson broke his leg against the Dallas Cowboys, and that was the beginning of the end. But before that, and even after Aiden Hutchinson, they were still giving teams all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. They didn't endure the injuries. Bottom line. Jared Posey, there it is. The Green Bay ligaments. Absolutely. The Green Bay ligaments. Michael Parsons is now finding himself in the same situation he was in Dallas. Now he going to be the man. And they're going to be searching for somebody to make plays. Bottom line. So getting a player, it behooves you to put together a system and put together depth so that if you lost a player, your team continues on. But I don't know if anybody could have endured all the injuries that the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions endured in 2024. I don't know if no team can endure that. And same thing with Green Bay Packers. Couldn't endure all those injuries in 2025. I don't care how good you are. It ain't happening. Brandy said the coach for the Jets was the DC. He had 17 hurt players. Say it, Brandy. Hey, Brandy, you remember last year we were making jokes? Because I was saying that that coach for the Jets, Aaron Glenn, was basically going up to the stands before the game, just asking people, hey, you want to play? We ain't got nobody. I mean, they were literally getting people from off the street to play football on defense. Just because you sign them don't mean that they're playing. Gerald Jackson, I said the same thing, G. Detroit was having tackle-eligible trick plays. Showboat versus Dallas. Gerald Jackson, they beat the brakes off us, boy. Jason Turner said, G, if you're a ball carrier, bled your soul with Barb and Overshown, make the fullback turn backwards, face the other goalpost. Overshown hit him so hard, bro. I saw it. But we gonna show it today, bro. Hey, Jason, the first thing hit my mind when I saw Overshown, first thing hit my mind was, and people saying this man can't play Mike linebacker. I beg to differ.
Jeez.
Get him all in.
He's back.
Red zone. Last year you were 16th in the league in touchdown percentage. Do you do more in practice to get it up to speed? How do you address the red zone?
Yeah, it was a big emphasis for us in the offseason. We did a bunch in phase 1 and phase 2. We really did a deep study into it. We spent more time on it. The guys have been doing some of that. They did that out in Park City, more of the red zone throws. We know where we came up short. A lot of it was things that we hurt ourselves with, penalties and self-inflicted wounds down there. But we're too good.
What did Jimmy say? This is why I played Jimmy at the top of the show. What did Jimmy say? Identify your problems. Identify them. Identify your issues and fix them. And don't let them become distractions for the team. This is what they're doing. I even heard CeeDee Lamb talking about Cowboys are working more in the red zone. Yep, they're working more in the red zone. Ryx fans said they had a raffle on who would play. Bro, it was bad up there in Detroit in 2024, man. Solo said that Dak we trust. Freddie Morales, El Chuco in the building. What up, El Chuco? He said in 2011, the Eagles went on a big-name player shopping spree, including the cornerback who at the time was the best corner in the league. I remember that, too. Poopy D, what's going on? What up, Quinn? Good to see you. Yeah, Frank said Detroit is another tough team to beat in the NFC. Good offensive line and running backs. Don't sleep on Dan Campbell and the Lions. I think Frank Lawrence. I think Campbell is on his last legs, bro. Frank Lawrence, let me tell you why I say what I'm saying. There are just flashpoints in teams, in a team's era, to where they miss that door or that window. They either don't walk through it or don't jump through it. 2024 was the Detroit Lions season. Every team in the NFC was inferior to the 2024 Detroit Lions healthy. Every team. They had the Dallas Cowboys with Mike McCarthy on a lame duck contract. The Rams were still kind of trying to bounce back from trying to put together a super team and winning that Super Bowl and kind of recovering from the cap. I mean, you think about it, the Seattle Seahawks were just starting to rebuild. I mean, when you think about it at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles were basically coming off of losing a Super Bowl, and they had recouped, and they were kind of on the rise again. But the Eagles were inferior to the healthy 2024 Detroit Lions. They were inferior. That was their window. No team was better than the healthy Detroit Lions in 2024. That was their, if there was ever a year I could say that was the year, it should have been that one. Because you think about it. Winning the Super Bowl, winning NBA championships, winning the World Series, you name it, there is luck required too. There is luck required. Sometimes you face the best team in the league and they don't have their best players. Yeah, that's called luck. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, you face a team that everybody look at the schedule and go, oh, you're going to lose those 3 games. Does anybody realize that the New England Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, almost every single team they played last year were playing with a backup quarterback? They were either playing with a backup, they either played against a backup quarterback or less than a first-tier quarterback. That's called luck. Nobody knew that when the New England Patriots started their season, they were going to play all of their games against backup quarterbacks. Even Bo Nix got hurt going into the AFC Championship game. Yeah, that's luck. Bruh. I want y'all to think about that. If Bo Nix doesn't go down with that defense, man, Drake May and the New England Patriots don't have a chance. They don't have a chance against a healthy Denver Broncos. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Yeah, Darren Posey, you hitting it on the head, bro. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. So you got to strike when the iron is hot. If you can stay healthy all the way to the end, if you can not just outplay teams, if you can out healthy teams, if you can out healthy teams and get on a run at the end, man, you'd be surprised what's going to happen. You'd be surprised. Darren Posey, you make a great point, bro. You said Drake Mayonnaise wasn't even top tier. You make a great point, bro. And you know what, Demetrius Williams, I didn't even think about it. You said bang, bang, Niner game. See, last year was the perfect year for the Seattle Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. The 49ers were decimated with injuries. The Cowboys, brand new coach, terrible defense. The Rams were good, but the Seahawks got some luck and beat them. Got some calls, because you need those too. Got a couple of referee calls that helped them stay in some games and thwart some comebacks of the Rams. Man, there are so many things that goes into winning championships. It'll make your head spin when you go back and look at the facts. But again, Darren Posey, and that's the point. You know, people think if you sign these big name players, like that means that you're going to have them the entire year. Those players, Frank Lawrence, you've already said it. Hey man, signing a player don't guarantee a Super Bowl. Bottom line. Demetrius Williams said, what do you think about Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy is a very good quarterback. It's no problem. Brock Purdy's got some ways to go. But and Purdy will make some throws, make your head spin. But I think Purdy's going to have some problems because, man, the 49ers just don't have the team. They just don't have the team they had in those years when they were beating the Cowboys and going to the Super Bowls. They just don't have those teams anymore. So I think Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. He just needs more. He just needs more.
To be kicking the field goals that we were kicking, and I think that's part of the GOTI, you know. I mean, if we're going to truly be that, then we have to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Show with the Athletic making that roster move, and Gutierrez moving on from Snowden. Can you just take us behind that? Yeah,
you know, again, at the end of the day, you know, Charles' injury, going to be out a while.
What up, Jorge? Jorge said, gee, you said the same stuff last year. He said, this time I believe you. Yeah, Jorge, I told you last year too. Yeah, Jorge, unfortunately, Matt Eberflus threw us off, bro. Now, I don't know if you remember, Jorge, but I identified Matt Eberflus as a problem before the season started. Yeah, I identified him as a problem. I didn't know, and Jorge, I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't think he was gonna be that bad. I had some concerns. I didn't know he gonna be that bad, bro. But he kind of derailed us a little bit. Wait a minute, JTX made. He said it. He said, hold on a second. JTX made breaking news. He said Von Miller. He said Von Miller's at Oxnard, California. Okay, I see. Boy, Jaden Justin. Oh my gosh, bro. Watching K9, bro. Man, I was cutting a lemon the other day and got some lemon in my eyes. Jaden Justin. Man, getting lemon in my eyes didn't hurt as bad as K9 did, bro. K9, bro. God bless the man. But boy, watching some of them plays, bro. I don't know if it was K9, Matt Eberflus, or a combination of the two. But it was a shame, bro. It was a shame. Yeah, April Showers, yeah, you remember. Yep, April Showers, you remember. I called out Eberflus at the beginning. I sure did. I called. Darren Posey, boy, you got me rolling up in here. Darren Posey said Law Nation is in Oxnard, California, too. Boy, you know, y'all might not catch what Darren Posey is saying, but I know exactly what Posey said. Posey said, so what, Von Miller's in Oxnard, California? So what? That don't mean nothing. I see you, Darren Posey. I see you, bro.
So we decided to get another guy in here that can come and work, and I thought Charles is great, and we'll see how things play out. But it's really this time of year going into pads, you need as many healthy bodies as you can get, and so we're excited to see how Sebastian does.
And it looked like Tyler Guyton got some work on the second team at right tackle. What did
Yeah, Schotty is referring to, in case y'all missed that, the Cowboys have cut Charles Snowden. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
you think of that? What's the thought process?
Yeah, actually, you guys are wrong. Whoever reported that is wrong. And don't worry, I make mistakes all the time. But he was playing jumbo tight end. So when the twos are up, we try not to move the tackles around. So we played him on the right. He was on the right, but he was playing tight end. So, again, just things we're trying out with. Did you report it? Was it you? Dang it. No worry. I make mistakes all the time, so it's no big deal. Yeah.
Now, I saw this right here earlier today. Dallas Cowboy fans, if you are not excited about what Brian Schottenheimer just said, I'm about to give you a reason to be excited. Tyler Guyton at jumbo tight end? Red zone, anybody? Red zone, anybody? Yeah. I would love to see Tyler Guyton on the Cowboys defensive line. I would love to see it. Could you imagine Javonte Williams running behind Terrence Steele and Tyler Guyton on the same side? Say it, Schotty. Say it. Y'all better pay attention. Schotty is giving us a reason to be excited. Yes. Yes, I love it. That's called creativity, Cowboys fans. That is exciting. It's called creativity. I love it. Do your thing, Brian.
Until I see it, I told the O-lineman the other day, especially Terrence Steele, I said, hey, Kellen Moore is a way cooler coordinator than you, Clayton. He throws the ball to the tackles. Terrence Steele's like, yeah. So, but guy catch probably. He's a pretty good athlete.
Yeah.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Brian. Yes, sir. He's even talking about the possibility of Tyler Guyton catching some passes? What? Derek Posey said, can he catch? He said all he catches is yellow flags. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, Darren Posey, if he can catch yellow flags, he can catch brown footballs too. Let's do it. Hey, Prince Pierre, that's a reason to be excited, bro. Running heavy jumbo. Yes. And Prince Pierre, how many options does it create? Schotty is a psychological ninja, man. This man is a psychological ninja. Talks about what Kellen Moore does and then gets it implemented. Let's work in Tyler Guyton. He gives you so many options. You can run to his side. He can be a blocker. You can roll out to his side. You can let him be a blocker. You can roll out to his side, let him hit a block, and then step out let him report as an eligible receiver, and then let him hit a block and then step out for a pass. That's what I'm talking about, Brian. That's what I'm talking about, Brian Schottenheimer. Hey, don't let that fly over your head right there. Don't let that fly over your head. That's exciting right there. Yeah, Brandon. Yeah, that's a big tight end right there. Hey, I like that. Y'all better pay attention, man. I like it. What's going on, Nick's Burston? Man, I think we're going to see some things from Brian this year. I think we're going to see some of the things that work really well for the Cowboys, but I also think you're going to see some other stuff. I like it. Yamo said, didn't we beat the Eagles last year with 30 seconds straight? Oh, boy. Boy. All right, let's keep rolling.
Kellen and Clayton.
Okay. Appreciate you, Riley. Made sense. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Riley made sense. Riley made sense. You got a fragrance channel. Riley made sense. Because I'm looking at the play on words there. Our man Mark Davis, he got a fragrance channel too. So I'm wondering, okay, Riley made sense. Do you have a fragrance channel? Because I follow all the fragrance content creators. I'm thinking about starting my own fragrance content channel. Let me know if you got a channel, because I want to follow it if you do. I follow all the fragrance all the fragrance people that I can. Let me see here. Okay, but again, Riley made sense. If you don't have a scent channel, that's a pretty clever name if you want to start a scent channel. Tyler Guyton played tight end in college. I didn't know that. Yeah, Haley got 5 rings. Yeah, Chuck Dunaway. What up, Dunaway? He said Jerry loves him some Charles Haley. You better believe he does. Okay, Riley made sense. Okay, no fragrance channel. I'm telling you now. Hey, that's a cool name if you ever want to start one. I'm just telling you right now. That's a cool name. Oh, you have a serious perfume collection. Riley, let me tell you, this is why I'm starting a fragrance channel. I'm not even worried about it being big per se. But Riley, you said you got a serious perfume collection. I'm starting to get quite a few colognes, and them things cost money. And if I can make some money on content creation to help finance that, I'm going to do it. I'm sorry. Man, them things cost money. Things cost money. There'll be blood. He said, gee, didn't we talk about him playing left tackle convincingly? Now we saying he will be playing other positions as well. Am I missing something? No, Brian already clarified. Brian said he ain't playing no right tackle. Brian said he's out there playing tight end, so I don't think we got to worry about it just yet. Bazzy 9 said, hit me up with some of that fire blueberry I keep hearing about. Bazzy 9, I got another one the other day called Zendaya. And this blueberry, oh my gosh, it's crazy too, bro. It's crazy too. Man, I'm just telling you, if you want to smell like you come out of Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, man, shoot. Get that blueberry musk or that Zendaya. Both of them just nasty. Chuck Dunaway said, can we make Charles Haley some kind of coach? I'm actually surprised that they didn't. I really am. I'm really surprised that they didn't make Charles Haley some type of coach. But he hang around the facility all the time.
Nick Harris, Fort Worth Star Telegram. These young safeties obviously getting a lot more opportunities with the injuries. What do you see from these guys, and specifically Caleb Downs getting some work out deep as well? Yeah,
I mean, that's what the one positive that you get when you get guys that are slowed by injuries is you get to find out some of your young players. Big shout out to Julius Wood. He and Elijah Clark have been flying around. In this defense, the ability to come out of the shell, the second half of the defense, and fit the B gap, I think is really, really important. Those guys are showing a quick,
Caleb Downs looked good today in pads.
Quick trigger and getting up there and getting set fast. Shout out to Reddy Stewart. I mean, he got moved to safety the other day, and
what? Booby D, are you hearing this, man? Stewart Reddy got moved to safety? Does he even weigh 200 pounds? How in the world is Stewart Reddy going to play safety? I'm going to tell you this. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm telling you who they need to move to safety. Who they need to move to safety is Marist Liafau. I would move Marist Liafau to safety. Marist Liafau is a bona fide hitter. If there is one thing Marist Liafau will do, he will come downhill and smack the mess out of somebody. He will smack the mess out of somebody. I think they ought to try Marist Liafau out at safety. That's what I think. Derek Posey, man, what you talking 24-hour close? What? $300 in colognes and honey packs? Man, boy. You doing, hey, man. Boy, you having some serious parties, ain't you? Boy, you doing some serious parties. Quinn, Moore was great today. Yeah, he was absolutely great today. Yeah, he was great. Yeah, man, I'm Bernard. I don't even understand Stuart Reddy, man. Man, I don't understand that. Who called him Stuart Little? Ray Exafan said, "Boy, like Stuart." Bro, this is a shocking move to me. This to me says Stuart Reddy ain't making the team. That's what it says to me. Stuart Reddy ain't making no doggone team. Derrick Rose said, "Gee, our defense was so bad last year." He said if you had to name a cologne represent them, it would be called After Sting, boy. They were bad. Boy, you ain't hey, you dig? He ain't gonna even be on team, bro. Man, I don't know if you remember, like, even when you played in high school, you remember, like, when you played in high school and you played, like, let's say you played running back in high school. You played running back in high school, and then they say something like, yeah, we're gonna move you to fullback. And then you notice that a fullback don't even play on y'all offense. Yeah, Stuart Reddy about to be gone, bro. Pooper D said they said Thompson and PJ Locke not practicing, probably just using him as a fill-in. Pooper D, what do you think about Marist Liafau? I'm telling you, man, because I really believe that Marist Liafau got to figure out a way to get in on this team. I really do. I think he's got to figure out a way to get in on this team because he's way down there on the depth chart. And if y'all noticed, anybody had a Marist Liafau sighting? Anybody had a Marist Liafau sighting? Now, I'm thinking back to Jerry Jones saying that there are some players on this team, they're not going to make this journey. Yeah, he could actually be talking about Marist Liafau unless he makes some moves. I really would think about Marist Liafau at safety. I really would.
You know, that's the versatility he gives you. You know, here's a guy that's really a nickel, but he's going back there and playing there. But what I really do like is also the guys that have been out. I mean, you watch them in practice. They're watching, they're communicating, they're coaching, and that's part of the deal as well. But it's a deep position for us. Marquise Bell, you know, he's played a lot of great football for us. You know, we feel really, really fortunate to have that type of depth at that position.
Going back and watching the film from these first 3 days, is there a specific one-on-one battle that's been really fun for you guys to watch and that you're excited to see in pads?
There's been a lot. It's been fun for me, maybe not Beebs, Cooper, going against Kenny and Quinnen every time. But I would pay money to watch Quinnen Williams and Tyler Smith play football. If it's just the two of them on a field, you know, run blocking, pass blocking. I would pay admission for that. So, but really all of them, you know, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, Miss Matrix, we're going to look at those plays. What's going on, Miss Matrix? In the building. Miss Matrix, we're going to look at that play that Kobe Durant made. Kobe Durant actually peeled off his own receiver. Now, you know, people are going to probably kill Dak Prescott for that, but I'm not really tripping on that because you got to realize this defense and offense, they're going up against each other, and I'm pretty sure there's some things they recognize each other doing. And so he made a great play, peeled off his own receiver, and came up under that pass and intercepted it. But I know there's going to be some people that are going to be knocking Dak Prescott for it. But Kobe Durant, he's a playmaker. He's a playmaker, Miss Matrix. He's a playmaker. Absolutely playmaker.
CD and George go up against, you know, Kobe Durant and Bond and you know, Kalen. So a lot of matchups that we look forward to seeing.
Tommy Arish, DallasCowboys.com. Brian, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but offensive, defensive line, when you put the pads on, it's very different. What's telling for you when you watch them with and on versus when they're not on?
Yeah, again, I think the biggest thing is just the pad level, you know, the ability to sustain blocks. Combinations get a little bit, you know, thinner because linebackers are coming downhill. And when you put pads on, Tommy, you want to make sure you keep your fundamentals. You can't just, you know, start flopping around and going and losing technique, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the technique that allows you to get your pads down, get your feet in the ground, lift the opponent up by getting with your pad level and hitting with a 6-inch rising blow. So I want to see these guys still continue to use their fundamentals, even though the pads are on. The pads just really give you a chance to, be a little bit more physical. And we've been really big this offseason and even early in camp using our hands. You'll see more shoulder blocks and things like that today. But the thing we're trying to prevent is side shots. You know, we don't want any side shots because it usually puts guys on the ground, and we don't want that.
Said last year at this time that Sam Williams was barking when you told him the pads were coming on. Is there a player you've seen?
There's not been any barking yet. They might be waiting for you guys to be out there, but
someone you're excited to see in pads specifically?
I think all the guys. I love this day, but it's the first step of a long journey, and it's going to be a fun practice. Like I said, it's going to be 2 scripted periods and then 2 competitive periods. Where we let the coordinators call it. I'm just going to be the head coach and let CP and Clayton call it. And you'll see the threes get some more work today. I think that's important. Get those guys some reps. They'll be playing, real football here in a couple 2 weeks or whatever. So it should be a fun day.
Yeah, I agree with you, Quinn. I said this earlier. And, Brian Schottenheimer, man, this dude is just doing so many things right. Giving Clayton Adams the opportunity to call plays. He ain't calling plays during the season. Jerry ain't going to have it. But getting Clayton Adams the opportunity to call plays. But the bigger issue is, and what I like about what he's doing, is that we are finally watching a coach be a head coach. He's actually able to be a head coach. Clayton Adams, call plays. I want to sit back and watch this from the head coach perspective and not just an offensive coordinator. You can tell me anything you want to if you're the coordinator. You can tell me anything you want to. But you can see better from a distance than you can when you're actually involved, if that makes sense. He's able to see things that he might not be able to see if he was calling the plays. It's his plays, but he gets to see how it's being called, how Christian Parker is going up against it, and all those things. This is just helping the Cowboys exponentially because he couldn't do these things last year with Matty Eberflus. He just couldn't do them. So this stuff is all going to help the Dallas Cowboys in the long run. Brian Schottenheimer is officially the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Not just the offense. He is officially the coach of the Dallas Cowboys football team. I like it.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Malachi Lawrence made it a big emphasis during minicamp to work on his false stepping to make sure he was going forward first. Seems like that's still a little bit out there with him. How hard is it to break just kind of the muscle memory of a false step, and how has he been progressing?
It is. It's very hard. We have some receivers that are elite and they still false step, have a few other, skill players on offense that, again, you would love them to eliminate the false step. But when you're a pass rusher and every inch counts, I think it's really important.
Appreciate that work you putting in, Bass. Bass said we got 275 people watching, only 91 likes. Let's get those likes up. Let's see if we can get them likes to 200. Let's get them likes up. Like, share, subscribe. Let's go. Appreciate you. Chuck said hit that like button. He said best Cowboy show on planet Earth. Let's go. Yeah, Tommy Solo, I'm telling you, Brian Schottenheimer is the first head coach we've had since Jimmy Johnson. He's the first head coach we've had since Jimmy Johnson. I'm including Parcells. I'm including Mike McCarthy. Jerry tried to give Mike McCarthy the opportunity that Brian Schottenheimer is trying to work toward. Mike McCarthy couldn't handle not calling the plays and just being the head coach. He couldn't handle it. Brian seems to be trying to work his way toward that. Brian is saying, now I'm the coach of this team, and I want to be over every single part. I want to evaluate every single part. I love it.
Important, but he works tirelessly at it. He actually had a rush the other day, I think it was against T. Steele, where it was an edge rush. T. Steele had a really good set, and he had a sweet hand swipe where he beat T. Steele inside, and that was one of the things that I'm excited to see Malachi, but it was a really cool counter. Part of pass rushing is your initial move, but what's your counter and what's your toolbox that you use to defeat the blocker, and he's learning all those from Chidera and BT.
Extra conditioning. Tyler Guyton was talking about how when you're that tired and you have to run again, it almost makes your mind lock in a little bit more and helps with the end of game and keeping your fundamentals. For a guy like that specifically and just in general, how much does that help with the discipline, late game discipline, and the extra conditioning?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's good when the players are saying that.
I wonder, and y'all tell me, what do you think about this? They're running at the end of practices. I wonder, is this going to help them with their concentration? Will this help with the penalties? The false starts, all the absolute dumb stuff. Will it help? Helping them to be even more locked in when they get fatigued. Because people make mistakes when they get tired. They make mistakes, so will this help? What up, Doomsday Cowboys? Good to see you back.
I think they understand. My big thing from them is I wanted them from the very beginning to understand that it was not punishment. This was the plan all along. We're going to, plan on doing some running today. Everything we do, though, is based off of the science and the catapult numbers and things like that. We know exactly what type of practice output we want to have today. And there'll be times that they reach that output and I might take conditioning off or I might add conditioning based on the numbers. And it's all done for a purpose, and it's something that we studied at length during the offseason to give us an advantage going into not just the start of the season, but the latter part of the season and into the playoffs.
Joe Trahan, WFAA TV. Coach, well, this is the first step of the long journey, as you mentioned. It's also, by my count, one of only 10 fully padded practices, including working with the Rams and the Saints. What's the message to your team about the urgency that they need to work with as well?
Yeah, maximize it for sure, Joe. That's really important. Again, I think I use the word here a lot. Some of it's mandated by the league, some of it's mandated by us as a staff. But like the ramp up, why do you not do one-on-ones today? Well, they're just getting the kind of feel for their pads. But we'll have a few more two-hour practices. The joints against the Rams and Saints will be really important for us. But today is just one step. And again, these guys put these pads on. They don't think twice about it. They've been doing this since they were 5 years old, 6 years old. They look forward to it, and it'll be our job to, like I said, make sure they're playing to the edge without going over the edge.
Is there anything you have to reaffirm with some of the younger players on this day?
They're actually the ones that you do keep an eye on. You got to communicate more too, just because they're excited and they're looking for their ops, whereas the vets kind of know how to practice. But I do think we do a good job of explaining the tempo, what's expected. For example, when your linebackers and running backs are in a blitz pickup situation, the linebackers want to beat the backs want to beat the running backs, but they also have to have some awareness. There's a 3-yard halo around the quarterbacks. That's why they have red jerseys on. So it's not just do whatever you want out there. You got to work together with your teammates, and the time will come for us to be able to do that, whether that's one-on-ones or in competitive preseason games.
Quinn, you ask a great question here. I don't know what to think about Clayton Adams. You said, do you think Clayton would be good at play calling? I really don't know. And the reason why I don't know is he never called plays. But I'm going to tell you something, Quinn. There are 2 coaches on this team, and probably 3. There are 3 coaches on this team that the NFL has its eyes on. 2 of the 3 will be head coaches, and one of them is going to be a defensive coordinator next. I believe Marcus Dixon, let's start in this order. Marcus Dixon is going to be one of the next sought-after defensive coordinators in this league. Book it. Marcus Dixon is going to be a sought-after defensive coordinator in this league. Clayton Adams, they are actually trying to fast-track Clayton Adams and Christian Parker to head coaches. Clayton Adams and Christian Parker probably have about a 2 to 3 year window with the Cowboys. I give Christian Parker 3. I give Clayton 2 more. Schotty, I'm really interested to see, Quinn, if Schotty is going to give Clayton Adams the opportunity during one of these preseason games And maybe it'll be the last preseason game because we've seen how they kind of throw those away. One year they let Dak Prescott call the preseason game. Maybe Schotty will let Clayton Adams call one of the preseason games this year. Maybe we'll see it. But they're trying to fast track Clayton Adams, Christian Parker, the head coaches, and I believe Marcus Dixon is going to be one of the next big defensive coordinators in this league. So I think they're going to start trying to find ways to give people a chance to see Clayton Adams in action. We already know Clayton Adams has helped the Dallas Cowboys run game. So now what we want to see, I'm not really interested in seeing it at this point because I'm just so focused on the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. But what people probably do want to see in some type of setting, and that setting, the best setting would probably be the preseason, is they want to see Clayton Adams call plays. I mean, I want to see. I don't know what to think about it. I'd like to see it maybe in the preseason game, not no regular season. Like I said, I'm too focused on trying to win a Super Bowl. There will be blood. Said, "Gee, why is it taking so long for the Dallas organization to start functioning like a top tier franchise?" It just rubbed me the wrong way. There will be blood. I've already explained it. At least what I think it is. There will be blood. Jerry has spent too much time building the NFL. That's just been the issue. Jerry spent way too much time building the NFL, building up all these other teams with the stadiums and the deals and the real estate deals and the endorsement deals and the TV contracts and internationally, spreading internationally across the globe. Jerry's been doing way too much of that. Okay, it's enough. And it seems like Jerry now is saying to the NFL, hey, y'all, I'm tired of winning. I'm tired of losing. I've been helping y'all win, putting money in y'all pockets. I'm tired of losing. I'm taking a break. I'm going back to the Cowboys, getting this team together. And oh, by the way, NFL, it's time for the Dallas Cowboys to win a Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what people be talking about with script writers. Script writers, Jerry has done too much for the league. Script writers, it's time for the Cowboys to get a Super Bowl. Cowboys fans have suffered enough watching Jerry build up everybody in the league but the Cowboys. It's time to build up the Cowboys. Frank Lloyd said, consider all the pressure of being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, yet Brian Schottenheimer presents himself cool, calm, and collected. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chuck, yeah, you said if the Cowboys do good, he won't be here next year. I think he'll be here unless he gets offered a head coach job. But if they do, and I know they're going to do good this year, if they win the Super Bowl, which I believe they're going to win this year or the next, they're going to get a Super Bowl in the next 2 years. It's over. He'll be gone, and so will Christian Parker. Marcus Dixon will probably be gone too. But again, I want to get there. And I want them to be after them because we won a Super Bowl. That's what I want them to be after. I want them to be after them because we won a Super Bowl.
Hey, Coach. Nicole Hutchison, DallasCowboys.com. This is year 3 for Marist Liafau. He's kind of been under 3 different DCs. What have you kind of noticed from him, and how has he taken on the different changes?
Yeah, I love Marist's versatility. You know, unfortunately for Marist, I mean, that is what it is, you know, and what spot are you playing? Well, you're a linebacker. No, you're on the ball. We know he knows how to take away the ball. We know he's physical. We know he's got great length. I actually think that his versatility to play on and off the ball will be a huge, advantage for us. And, again, you never have to worry about his wiring and the play style. And, it takes guys, a couple years. And then you factor into what you said about the different coordinators and changes and position changes. And but he's done a really good job with his weight and, managing that. And, he continues to thrive on special teams. So he's a guy that we're thrilled to see take the next step in this system.
What did I tell y'all earlier? What did I tell you about Marist Liafau? Shoot, you better figure out how to do something else. Did you hear what Schottenheimer so cleverly did? He talked good about Marist Liafau, but on the front of that he says, unfortunately. Unfortunately what? Yeah. You were not picked by this current coaching staff. You were not picked by this current coaching staff. You were not picked by this current defensive coordinator. And it is pretty obvious at this time, there is no place. What did I tell you in the story I told y'all earlier? Think about this. If you've ever played football before and they start moving you around, you go from the backup quarterback. You know what? Let's see what you do at safety. I'm the backup quarterback. Yeah, bro, they don't want you to play quarterback no more. When they start moving you around. Now, sometimes people move you around because they think you play better at another position. But when you got two people in front of you, and for people who say, oh, they doing him wrong, you do realize they went back and watched all the tape. We don't think Christian Parker went back and watched all the tape. Brian Schottenheimer watched the tape. And that's what got Marist Liafau at the third level of the depth chart. He's at the third level. And everything I believe he's saying about Liafau is true. I just said he'll thumper, he'll hit you, he'll come downhill, he'll attack, he'll hit. Yeah, that's great. But a lot of players do that. What are you doing to separate yourself? I'm telling you, man, he better get in where he fit on it. He better be a demon on special teams. Make the team on special teams, and maybe there's an opportunity that opens up during the season. But, man, Marist Liafau, I'm wondering. I'm wondering.
Mike Ducey, Fox 4.
What up, Lisa Worley?
I know you've been around long enough to remember when there were not the restrictions on padded practices the way there are now. And it is what it is, I understand, but how much more challenging does it make it as a coach and a coaching staff to evaluate your team and your players with these restrictions in place?
You know, Deuce, I actually kind of like it. I really do. I mean, I think you have to be more organized. I think you have to do a really good job of explaining to the guys what you want. I mean, if you would let my dad practice 4 times a day, he would have. Probably did. Self-report. Love you, Pops. But Dick Vermeil was that way. Coach Vermeil texted me the other day, and I was remembering, 3-a-days in St. Louis, whether it was legal or not. I was just a QC running to get water for people and running cards and things like that. But I remember 3. So I think at the end of the day now we can get the work done, but you got to be organized. These guys have to understand what's expected. And I like the rules. I think, I love how the league's made the joint practices more of something that's a suggestion because they want us to do it. And when you don't play your starters in preseason, which again, cat's out of the bag, we're not going to play a lot of our starters during the preseason.
No way. Surely. Surprise, Captain Obvious. Surprise, Captain Obvious, because we already knew the starters were not going to be playing. I mean, Tony Romo forever. Tony Romo eliminated the possibility of a starting quarterback in Dallas ever playing in the preseason. Tony Romo forever eliminated that possibility. Forever. Andre Johnson, you think CP sees something in him? I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure. I'll tell you who might see something in him is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones and our other guy. But I'm not sure it's CP. Because if he did, he wouldn't be so far down the depth chart and moving around. I think another reason why Marist Liafau was here too is the Cowboys drafted him. The Cowboys love the players that they draft. And they give the players they draft every opportunity. I mean, we probably kept Mozzie Smith at least a season. I would dare say we kept Mozzie Smith at least a season too long. At least a season too long. And the Cowboys have done other players like this. Kept players, we extended Michael Gallup, didn't understand that. Extended Jalen Smith, didn't understand that. Jerry really likes, especially when he drafts people, he really likes them. Marist Liafau was a talent. Problem is, I just don't know if he's got it up here. And that don't mean that he's dumb. I'm just wondering, what's going on? Because Liafau shouldn't be third on the depth chart. I mean, in a perfect world, he shouldn't be third on the depth chart. But I'm not discounting the fact that I'm sure they went and did research on Marist Liafau. For whatever tape anybody else does on Marist Liafau, I bet you Brian Schottenheimer and Christian Parker did better film work on Marist Liafau and said, nah, we need to bring in guys in free agency and we need to draft. And we're gonna think about this. We're gonna bring in guys in free agency and draft and put them all in front of Marist Liafau. What's that telling you? Yeah, what's that telling you? I think that's telling you something. Yeah. I think that's telling you something. More than we might realize. I think it's telling us something. Yep, Quinn, Jerry likes his guys. He does, man. He does. Frank Lloyd said Michael Trigg first catch in training camp was a touchdown. G-Man Trigg will not be denied. Oh, I'm excited. I hope Dak Prescott bangs on the table and tell him, put this guy in, man.
You know, you need that work.
Sydney Staples, D210 Sports. When you look at position groups, do you think it's more important for some over others to evaluate them with the pads on?
Yeah, I mean, probably, honestly, I'm not evaluating the quarterbacks in pads, whereas offensive and defensive line you are evaluating them a little bit more. We've talked about the edge rushers versus the tackles. We've talked about the matchups inside. But I do think, Sydney, that there's a point where these guys do still have to work together to get done what we want to get done. But yes, the answer to the question is yes, there are certain positions that get more out of being in pads than others. And, that's just part of the way the game's played.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio, 105.3 The Fan. Since you opened the door to talking about preseason playing time.
Why did I figure you would take that, Brad? Yeah.
I don't write them, I just read them.
No, okay. Yeah. You got to have your depth chart. I get it. You got to be able to speak about this stuff.
How do you, as a staff, balance rookies who you think are going to be starters, who you don't want to overexpose but have to play some? How do you strike that balance?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'll answer it. So we put players into 4 groups, A group, B plus, B minus, and C. And in that group, that tells us whether they're playing 0 snaps in the preseason, whether they're playing 10 to 15 snaps in the preseason. 25 to 35 for the B minus and kind of unlimited for the C's. I have a list in my mind. The coaches get with the coordinators and they debate those things. Caleb Downs, for example, do you play him? Do you not play him? We're having those discussions, and good news is we don't have to make those decisions for a while, but there's something to the young guys playing a little bit, and, we do it in the first 2 games. I think that's part of it. Usually don't play many of those guys in the 3rd preseason game, but it's something that, we're very serious about.
Coach Charles Robinson from Front Office Sports. Once you put the pads on, how long does it take to tangibly really understand where the roster deficits are?
Charles, that's a good question. I think it's different every year. I think, we have an idea right now of where we feel we're strong and maybe where we feel like we've got great depth, and then, hey, we're a little thin here. But I would say it's after that 2nd preseason game. I mean, we got to see these guys play real football, and even out here, it's the closest thing that we can do to real football. But, we're not tackling, taking guys to the ground and stuff like that. So I think you got to probably get through the 2 joints, the 2 preseason games. Once we break camp, head back to the Star after the Arizona game. I think we'll have a better idea of kind of where we stand, but it doesn't mean that we're not always looking, for potential, additions to our roster.
Now, keep in mind what Brian Schottenheimer just said, because this is what I've been saying the whole time. Cowboys are in evaluation mode. After the 2nd preseason game, teams are going to start cutting their rosters down, trying to get to the 53, 52-man roster, whatever it is. There are going to be some good players released as the weeks go on. So the Cowboys are just going to continue to do what they're doing. They're going to evaluate their own players, and I'm sure they got a pretty good mind already of some places they would like to tweak. They're going to be on the lookout to see, is there a player that can come into this system and help them be better? Just bottom line, just help them be better. It doesn't have to be a big name. I know a lot of people want a big name. I don't know if it's, I know everybody want a splash player. Not sure it's going to be a splash player. Just be a good player that can come in and enhance what you already have because they got some good things going, I believe.
Hi, Candace Lamb, D210 Sports. Speaking of pads, what players have you seen looking for or heard looking forward to so far to being in those pads and being a little bit more physical in practice today?
Again, I think there's not one player, by name that comes out. I think it's more, again, I think the offensive, defensive linemen are really looking forward to those matchups. Tomorrow will be a fun day because we'll match up, in one-on-ones, certain guys against certain guys because, we want to see those guys work and they enjoy it and that competitive spirit comes out, which is a big calling card for us.
Mike, last one. Mike Leslie, WFA. With your inside linebackers, what have you liked what you've seen from Marvion and D. Winters, and how much is Jay Sean kind of inserting himself in that conversation with what he
I think, you mentioned a couple names, Mike, but again, I like a lot of things from really a lot of the guys. I think, Demo's doing an awesome job. Green dot not, I can spin, Clarence around with that conversation for the next 20 minutes if we want. Who's the green dot, who's not. But, D. Winters, the speed shows up on film for sure. Jay Sean's been really, really good. Shamar James is standing out. And then, there's some other guys. Justin Barron's doing awesome. Curtis Robinson, he's a guy we brought in that we're really excited about. And Vet, and then Langston Patterson as well.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate that by Brian Schottenheimer. Let's read a couple things. Shoot, Baz said he want a big name. Yeah, Baz, okay, but big name outside of Max Crosby. Big name outside of Jordan Brooks. Because I really think that's where the Cowboys are probably going to, for people who are hoping for those two players. I was hoping for Jordan Brooks. Max Crosby, I don't know if he'll be a Cowboy this year. Max Crosby may be a Cowboy next year because I don't think the Raiders are going to do another year with Max Crosby. I just don't. And really, to me, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make sense for the Raiders to even deal another year with Max Crosby because you're not going to the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. You're not, unless he shocks me. I'm pretty sure it would be the shocker of the year if the Raiders went to the Super Bowl. I think the Raiders are a long way off. Max Crosby is in a stage in his career where Max Crosby is a win-now player. I don't think the Cowboys will probably get Max Crosby this year. If they do, it'll be next year. And if they get him this year, I think it'll be the trade deadline. I think it'd probably be close to the trade deadline than it would be getting him now. That's kind of where I am. Chuck Dunaway, he says Sweat. I don't know. I think he might be, again, we're going to see. I just think he's a little out of Cowboys price range. Queen, what is going on, Queen? Helping your son move. Okay. Is he moving out of the house, I don't want to be that nose. I'm sorry. You might not want to tell us all that. You might not want to tell us all that. Michael Sage said, Broadus isn't backing off the Brooks thing. Well, you know what? I hope he's right. I tell you, I hope he's right. Don't get me wrong. Shoot, I'm not going to be crying. I hope his sources are rock solid on Jordan Brooks. But I also heard the opposite, and Mike Fisher has done some digging in this too. And he said Nick Harris has done some digging on Jordan Brooks. Now Mike Fisher has done some digging on Jordan Brooks. And Miami seems to believe they have five, I'm quoting Mike Fisher. The Miami Dolphins said they have five foundational players. And they said one of those players is Jordan Brooks. Yeah. They said one of those players is Jordan Brooks. Yep. And again, I think Max Crosby, I think Max Crosby is probably more of a 2027 move or a trade deadline move. I don't know. Max Crosby, the whole situation with Max Crosby is strange. I think Max Crosby, because we've kind of seen him do this before. Unlike a lot of people, one thing I give Max Crosby credit for, Max Crosby is very good at hiding his business and making you believe one thing when something else is going on. I've noticed how Max Crosby is going out of his way. I'm a Raider through and through. I want to be with the Raiders. Okay, bro, who you trying to convince? Who you trying to convince? You don't have to convince us that you want to stay with the Raiders. Who are you trying to convince? Something's going on. I think something is going on with Max Crosby. I just don't know when it would happen if it were the Cowboys. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're just using common sense, it doesn't make sense for the Raiders to keep Max Crosby. It really doesn't. I told y'all before, I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to be surprised if Max Crosby name comes up again in some kind of blockbuster trade. He's looking really good so far in practice. Look good in OTAs, look good in training camp. He's saying all the right things. I mean, he's doing all the right things. And the more I hear him, I'm just kind of like, sounds like smoke and mirrors. Sounds like smoke and mirrors. That somewhere down the line, I'm not going to be shocked, even if it's Dallas. I'm not going to be shocked if Max Crosby is playing with another team because he's a win-now player. The Raiders aren't in a win-now mode. I mean, they would love to be in a win-now mode, but shoot. Man, Raiders ain't winning. I just don't think they're winning no time soon. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I don't think they're winning no time soon. Now, Jordan Brooks talk, and, again, Broadus is doing all the Jordan Brooks talk. And people keep trying to make sense of the Miami Dolphins extending Jordan Brooks, and now it would make even more sense for the Cowboys to trade for Jordan Brooks. I mean, I guess if you say so. I mean, I guess if you want to make that sound like it makes sense. At the end of the day, I'm not sure that in the grand scheme of things, to me, it don't make sense either for the Miami Dolphins to keep Jordan Brooks. But I think the issue is no team would give the Miami Dolphins what they wanted for Jordan Brooks. I think that's the issue with Jordan Brooks. Teams were not giving them what they wanted, and so they kept Jordan Brooks, and so they went ahead and extended him. But I'll be honest with you, anything's possible. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. They're both win-now players. It didn't make sense for either one of them, if you ask me. It really didn't make sense for either one of those teams to, the Raiders, I think they had to keep Max Crosby until Max Crosby started proving to everyone out there, to all of us, that he actually can play. And I think the more he trains in training camp, I think the more that's going to become a reality for him to be somewhere else. And then, you got Jordan Brooks. I can't make heads or tails of that. Troy Aikman is over there. And that's why I'm kind of questioning whether or not, why would they sign or extend Jordan Brooks and not keep him, even though I think with the rebuild mode they in, he probably should have been a player they should have moved for draft capital. But I think they couldn't get the draft capital that they wanted. So when you think about Jordan Brooks, when you think about Max Crosby, both of these players, I would consider them more of trade deadline players. I don't consider them to be candidates for moves the Cowboys are going to make before the season starts, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. I don't consider them to be players the Cowboys would get in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Those are trade deadline players. Because the Raiders could actually be thinking. Now let's think about in an alternate universe, far, far away. Think about that. Hold on a second. Let me give you the far, far away. In a universe far, far away. What if the Raiders started winning with Kirk Cousins? I mean, Kirk Cousins, he can play. Got a run game. Fix their offensive line. What if the Raiders actually played well this year? What if they played well? If they play well and it looks like they're going to make the playoffs or be in contention for the playoffs, if you're the Raiders, you probably ride it out with Max Crosby and just wait until next season and then you trade him. Miami Dolphins, I can't even go to that. I can't even go to that universe with the Miami Dolphins. Now, what they could shock us, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. But maybe they want to see if I forgot the quarterback name they have over there. Willis. I forgot his name. I think it's Willis. Maybe they'll see what happens with him. But I see those two kinds of players being more trade deadline players. I don't really see them being players that you're going to be looking at in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Because if you do, you're going to pay more. But if you wait it out to the trade deadline and let them realize that it's not worth it for them to keep those players, you might be able to get a better deal. But if you pick up that phone now, you might as well give them all the draft picks for next year. All right, let's come back to reality. Now back to reality. Again, Max Crosby could actually be gone before the Cowboys even get him. Because I'm telling you now, he's really doing a whole lot of talking and talking about how he loves being a Raider. Famously said by a lot of players right before they get traded. So we'll see. All right, man, before we get into our plays and stuff like that, let's hit a few of these quick hits. So let's look at takeaways from the Dallas Cowboys practice today. And the question is who won the practice? Well, I'm going to tell you straight up. From everything I've seen, defense dominated the practice today. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited about it. I am absolutely excited about the fact that the Dallas Cowboys defense dominated. They dominated this practice today. Pass breakups, could have been tackles for loss, probably saw a few sacks in there, roughhousing the wide receivers. I mean, that doggone defense looked really good today the first time in pads. Really did. And what I'm really impressed about, they were not out there like last year, like just playing athletically. No, they were playing Christian Parker's system against the third best offense in the league. Let that sink in. The third best offense in the league. Now, I'm going to take this also, though, with a grain of salt. Let me put this caveat in. Because the offense has been out there basically running track meets. They're not used to getting knocked off their spots. They're not used to the physical jams. They're not used to the hard blocks, the hard shoves. They're not used to any of that stuff. They've been getting hand blocks. Now they're getting shoulder blocks. And so with all that being said, we saw this part happen a little bit last year. The Cowboys got knocked around a little bit. The offense did. Once they got accustomed to getting knocked around a little bit, then they came back and started dominating again. So we're going to see what happens after a couple of these padded practices. The offense get accustomed to getting more physical, and then they're going to get back. They're going to get back on their grind. So we're going to see. But for what I've seen so far, man, this defense, they won this today. They won it today. Hey, Bass, you already know, bro. We've heard this. I love being a or whatever fill in the blank team. Oh, I love being on this team. Only famously said right before you get traded, Bass. You know we've seen it before. We have seen it before. Richard Villegas, what's going on? He said they should mix match players because it's how other teams got us with too. Yeah, they doing some stuff this year. Yeah, hey, Dunaway, they won it, bruh. They dominated today, man. They absolutely dominated. Brandon Green said this offense hasn't had a minicamp against defense like this. Usually we see the offense show off every year. So far, it's a battle. Iron sharpens iron. Brandon Green. Bro, do you remember last year? CeeDee Lamb was cooking the secondary so bad. CeeDee Lamb was talking noise to the secondary, about to fight the secondary, pushing them around. Man, you couldn't stop CeeDee Lamb. You ain't seen that this year. Man, we saw Caleb Downs in the last practice on Saturday. Caleb Downs literally pushed Caleb Downs pushed CeeDee Lamb to the ground and went for the interception, bro. Man, we got a different defense this year. All right. This was written on DallasCowboys.com. Written by the Dallas Cowboys staff writers. Who won the practice today? Or they got takeaways. I'm telling you who won the practice. All right. Says the Cowboys began their second week of training camp with their first practice with pads on Monday. As expected, the intensity was much higher and we also got a chance to better evaluate some of the more physical positions, particularly in the offensive and defensive line. Here are some of the quick observations from the Cowboys staff writers. The land shark cometh. I don't even know who that is. The land shark cometh. Kobe Durant's momentum over the first three practices ramped up even more on Monday. When the pads came on, his coverage is some of the best on the Cowboys defense, and on one play in particular, he showed Dak Prescott what he can do. Prescott dropped back in the red zone and threw a ball under duress to CeeDee Lamb, who was in good enough position to make the catch after he broke outside, but Durant peeled off his original coverage, readjusted, and jumped the route to make an acrobatic interception that had Christian Parker smiling. I'll show y'all that play. It was an absolute great play. It was. All right. Bringing the Wood says, on the first day of pads, you wouldn't expect anything other than someone named Julius Wood to have a physical practice. Just an hour before, his head coach Brian Schottenheimer mentioned Wood as being active and making the safety position rather deep. And then in practice, he had several big pops, drawing the ball loose on a pass during the team drills. He also wasn't afraid to come up in run support. Also, Caleb Downs had a few run stops as well, but Wood is a guy trying to get noticed, and he did that on Monday. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this is the guy that they're talking about. And they're saying that this guy seems to do good every year and just barely misses the cut. I don't think it's going to happen this year. Next, Fant exits with injury. Says Cowboys tight end Princeton Fant was injured during Monday's practice when a running back collided with his leg on a play when Fant was blocking to try and give the running back some room to work with. After needing assistance to get to the medical tent, Fant was taken to the locker room on a cart. Fant has spent the last 3 years with the Cowboys, where he's primarily served a role on special teams. He played in 11 career total games for Dallas, playing 189 total snaps on special teams in that time span. Tommy Yarish. Okay. All right, I hope he's okay. I saw him get carted off today. Okay, Patrick Walker, the land shark cometh. Okay, I see what this was. All right, so second article, bringing the Wood, Nick Eatman. Fant exits with injury, Tommy Yarish. Next part, Nick Eatman. Milton's playing flag football. Says while backup quarterback Joe Milton has had several nice throws with the football, but he showed his arm in another way. Even if he did have to swipe the ref's flag during a red zone drill, rookie cornerback Devin Moore got very aggressive with CeeDee Lamb on a pass that felt incomplete. Lamb was waiting for the flag, as was every offensive player, but Milton decided to take the matter into his own hands. He playfully grabbed the ref's flag out of his pocket and threw it about 20 yards. Again, that's another example how the rules are very different in practice. All right. Joe Milton has actually looked pretty good, but Sam Howell has too. The real battle will be the preseason games. Okay, Revel in the moment. Man, Revel's been balling. It says what Savon Revel is experiencing in his second NFL training camp is the definition of iron sharpens iron. It says before today, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens were narrowly inching him out to make big plays, but in the first padded practice, Revel had several pass breakups and even wagged his finger at Pickens on one of them. Going against two of the best in the league combines with Revel being fully healthy to make for what might be a return to peak form once witnessed at ECU only 2 short seasons ago. Yeah, Patrick Walker. Hey, I'm telling y'all right now, it's only one padded practice. I know, it's only one padded practice. Miss Matrix, it's only one padded practice. But Savon Revel Jr. looked like a first-round draft pick today. Straight up. Like a first-round draft pick today. Because he would have won in the first round had he not been injured. Next, Downs to business. Caleb Downs may not always make the flashy highlight plays all the time for a defensive back, but he makes big plays that the offense feels well afterwards. That was the case today, as Downs had a teach-tape run feel against the first-team offense, as he was waiting in the gap when Jaden Blue was trying to get through it. Downs' work at the line of scrimmage is one that popped up a lot at Ohio State and has done so in flashes during his first NFL training camp with the Cowboys too. He's also been active around the ball in coverage, as Downs had a near interception today off a pass that Deron Bland deflected into the air, and I have that play for you too. Yeah. So, if you will notice, in the takeaways from today's practice, which is why I am telling you, Brandy, chime in, because you were actually at Oxnard, California, you and Timmy Solo. The defense dominated today. Yeah. From every clip I have, and I'm telling you, I got I don't know if you can have too many clips, but I have a games tape worth full of clips that I'm about to show you. And it is all defensively dominated. All defensively dominated. This is good news. Now, it's good news not just because the defense dominated, but because they're running the system. They're running the system correctly, and they're giving the offense problems. A top 3 in the league, Cowboys fans. Might I add, top 3 in the league offense. Yeah. Yeah. Mose Logan, no, Dak's fine. That's why it's called practice, Mose Logan. You got to realize the Cowboys, when you're running the stuff that they've been running with no contact, that's not as fast as when you pick up the pace and you start getting in pads. This is why you practice. You want to get the timing right in practice. You want to get, because, you're trying to figure out how this defense, all this is going on. Dak's seeing some things, not that he hasn't seen necessarily before, so we're not going to say that. But Christian Parker is trying to mix it up, trying to confuse him with the defense that he runs, which is the kryptonite for the Mahomes, the Prescotts, and things like that. So I'm fine with what Dak has been doing. The timing of the passes are not where they need to be yet. That's why we're practicing. That's why it's called training camp. It's one thing to throw in real games, and it's another thing to throw in practice. So now we're getting back somewhat, and we're not even at game speed yet. We're not even at game speed. So I'm good at what Dak is doing, but I agree he's got to tighten up. But that's why it's called practice. That's what you're actually doing. You're getting everything. You're getting everything tightened up. All right. Before we go on to the next segment, I forgot this young lady's name here, but she's very good at what she does. Let's check out what she said today about. She's been giving us takeaways from all the practices. Let's see what she had to say.
Hey, yo, welcome
And for the record, we just finished the first padded practice. Hello, a lot to get to. Let's get to it, Nick.
Hey, we wanted them to bring the wood today. They did. How about the safeties? Julius Wood for sure. How about Caleb Downs? Both of them bringing that physicality.
Hey, Tommy.
I'm going to expand that to the whole defense. Kobe Durant set the tone early with a pick on Dak Prescott. Then, in the 2-minute drill, this high-powered offense struggled to get down the field. Hats off to Christian Parker's group.
And I'm going to bring it back down and say that I was reveling in this practice because specifically Savone Revel, he had upwards of 4 PBUs. He was getting his lick back against George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, and Ryan Flanoy. Might be back at ECU form.
Hey, are we going defense?
Yes.
Okay, we're going
defense.
And what are we going? Okay, let's get it. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Offense, and I'm going to go with Jake Ferguson. How about the touchdown in the red zone over Marquise Bell? He missed a couple of days due to a personal reason. Well, you know what? He's back. All right, we got more padded practice, so we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, I forgot this young lady's name. She's doing an excellent job. Excellent job. We've used her for 3 days. Yeah, she is absolutely doing an excellent job. Need to contact her. Need to contact her next and see if I can get her on here. But she is doing an excellent job. I'm gonna do some research. But she is doing an excellent job over there. But the defense won today. No doubt about it, man. They were fast, physical, flying around. I mean, they were, man, they were absolutely doing their thing against this Dallas Cowboys offense. Now, I'm not overly worried. It's actually good what we're seeing. Believe me when I tell you. Dak and those guys are going to figure out how to start, wheeling and dealing on them because we got an offense that good. But this is very good news. Very good news for us Dallas Cowboys. Mose Logan, I do have a clip. Yes, DaRon Bland, Mose Logan, don't fear. DaRon Bland has actually been playing good. DaRon Bland has actually been playing well, Mose Logan. He's actually been playing well. He actually had one of the pass breakups today. He had a pass breakup the other day. Bland is looking good. He's looking good. Poopy D said, look at Bridges. He said, look at Bridges, bro. Yeah, he in screen. I don't know what it means, but he in the frame. I don't think Bridges is going to... You know what? I think Bridges is going to be on the practice squad. Jose, Nicole Hutchinson. Yeah, I'm going to see if we can get her on. I tried to get... I'm going to contact Jane Slater again. Last time, Jane Slater, she ghosted me last time. She ghosted me last time. I'm gonna see if I can get I'm gonna see if I can get Jane Slater to come on sometime during the season, and I'm gonna contact Nicole Hutchinson and see what she's talking about. Nicole Hutchinson, Cowboys Nation, we might have to put something together. We might have to put something together and send these people some super chats or something if they'll come on the show. Maybe we can guarantee them a certain amount of Skrilla. You know what I'm saying? I'm not big enough. I'm not big enough yet for them to start coming on for. I don't know. I'm not big enough yet, maybe for them to start coming on for free. Maybe they don't feel like I add anything to the brand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might not add enough to the brand for them. You know what I'm saying? I understand this is a business, but we'll see. Yeah, man. Yeah, D.R. Jefferson, man. Yeah, man. Hey, D.R. Jefferson, man. You know it go down in the DMs, bro. It goes down in the DMs. Your boy was Young Gotti over in them DMs, Deion Jefferson. I was in the DMs, got totally ignored, bro. Now she's acknowledged me on X a few times. Jane Slater has. She's acknowledged me a few times. So, I know sometimes when you ask people stuff, they be checking to see kind of like what kind of following you have and stuff like that. So I don't know. You never know. You never know. Maybe she look at where I am today and go, okay, he doing a little bit better. He doing a little bit better. Maybe she'll give me at least a response. Maybe she'll just tell me no this time rather than just giving me the sign of no. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Pooh did. Yeah, kick him a few cones. You know what I'm saying? Kick him a few cones, man. Could kick him a few coins, man. Yay, Marcus Moncherio. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Yeah, I think I may have to try to make that trip last year. My wife, she wanna make that trip. She was already talking about it this year. Yeah, she's already. Hey, that's my wife. She laughing in the comments now. That's my wife. She laughing in the comments now. Yeah, man. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. You know, I'm always trying to play matchmaker. You know, I'm always trying to play matchmaker, Bass. I get Nicole Hutchinson on. Maybe I can hook her up with my youngest son. Get some Dallas Cowboy privileges. Yeah. 555 K-Lex, what is going on? Appreciate all the support. You always catch it on the replay. You in the live today, man. I appreciate you. All right, let's hit another segment real quick. I'm making some pretty good time. Got another segment real quick.
Yes! Here we go!
Rashawn Gary was over on, let me see. Trying to make sure. I don't know if I have time for Rashawn Gary. You know what? I think I'm going to push Rashawn Gary to tomorrow or a Cowboys After Dark. I'm kind of pressed for time from the perspective of I want to get y'all these plays because I got a bunch of plays. And if I go to Gary and it's about a 16-minute conversation and I know I'm going to be interrupting him, I won't have time to get to the plays. So we're going to skip Rashawn Gary after practice. We'll save that for tomorrow's show, and we're going to go to another couple of quick hits. Let's look at the Dak Prescott preseason plan.
Yes! Here we go!
You know what? I'm not even going to proclaim to be a prophet. I just got a strange feeling. I didn't say strange. I got a strange feeling. That the Dak Prescott preseason plan. I got a strange feeling the Dak Prescott preseason plan reads as follows, because I haven't read it yet. Dak Prescott is not playing during the preseason. Captain Obvious, again. Tony Romo eliminated, as I said earlier. Tony Romo eliminated the possibility of a starting quarterback in Dallas to ever play during a preseason game. Not a starting quarterback. It is not going to happen. And so it looks like, let's see, let me pull it up here. The Cowboys have announced their preseason plan for Rain Dakota Prescott. I haven't even read it. I can tell you what it says. Let's see. Oh, really? Oh, really, Captain Obvious? It says, don't plan on watching Dak Prescott or other headline starters take the field at any point this preseason. No way. No way. No way. No way. It says Brian Schottenheimer made the announcement ahead of the team's first padded practice that the Cowboys plan to sit most of the starters throughout the 3 preseason outings this month. The decision is still being made on rookie 11th overall pick Caleb Downs as Dallas works to balance protecting their investment in him with the risk associated with having him play in a non-regular season game. It says, historically, Prescott and the top starters are held out of August contest, so it should come as no surprise that Schottenheimer will continue that trend in 2026. What? No way, Captain Obvious. No way. I got news for us. I will be surprised if we see Caleb Downs. And the reason why I would be surprised is simple. Anybody remember how DeMarion Overshown started dealing with injuries? Preseason. Ain't happening. It is not happening. It is not happening. I would be surprised if Caleb Downs plays. I absolutely would be surprised. We're probably not going to see quite a few players. And in the grand scheme of things, you know, we've already talked about the Cowboys. We've already talked about the Cowboys and their depth. Again, we're going to become very familiar with the Dallas Cowboys 2026 roster currently as it is constructed. Let's look at the Dallas Cowboys roster. It's pretty easy to figure out who is going to be playing. It's pretty easy to figure out. You won't see any of these players on the first part of this on the offense. But on the second line, you are going to see, I would believe, let me tell y'all something right now. It is so funny what some of y'all was saying about Marquez Valdes-Scantling having butter hands. Man, wait until y'all see one of the plays with Marquez Valdes-Scantling today. I saw that play and I said he is not making the team. But he will be here, I believe, for the first and second preseason game. Scantling playing, Mingo. Mingo got to play. You'll see all of these guys. Nate Thomas. I don't think you'll see Turpin. You'll see Keegan, Bass. You're going to see this whole crew. This whole crew. Joe Milton, Sam Howell will be battling. I do believe you will see a little bit of Jaden Blue, and I definitely think you're going to see some Phil Maffa. They need some snaps. They absolutely need some snaps. They're gonna get some snaps. You're going to see Smith, Holden. You're going to see all these guys. All these guys. You're going to see back here. But on the front side, you're not going to see any of them. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll probably see Malik Davis. We're going to see a lot of them. Defensively, I don't expect to see any of these players, especially DeMarion Overshown. I don't expect to see any of these players. I think you're going to see this entire back end, especially Barham, Lawrence. You're going to see a lot of them. Sam Williams, I think you'll probably see him. So it's no surprise. You're not going to see any of these starters. It's no surprise. We're going to see all of our work. We're going to see all of our work on the starters. We'll see all of that versus the Rams and the Saints. We'll see all of that versus the Rams and the Saints. So, you know, the Dak preseason plan, I mean, come on, Captain Obvious. We kind of already knew it. All right, let's get to another quick hit. Another quick hit. I saw this come down the other day, and I was absolutely tripping. The Cowboys, to no surprise, I'm sure to most people, Charles Snowden, the moment he got that 3-game suspension, I said it's probably over. I said it's probably over. Says here, the Cowboys had their first official day of training camp, practice on Sunday, but that doesn't mean the team wasn't busy making moves. The Cowboys placed veteran defensive end Charles Snowden on the waived injured list. Snowden was signed for depth this offseason, but was also given a 3-game suspension by the NFL, which would have started in the regular season. However, the Cowboys decided to part ways with Snowden, who will likely get an injury settlement if he clears waivers. His roster spot has been filled by guard Sebastian Gutierrez. Gutierrez or Gutierrez, who played in 1 game for the Raiders in 2022 and 1 with the 49ers in 2024. These are the first moves by the Cowboys since the start of camp, but here are the most recent transactions by the team from the offseason. So this is kind of what we're looking at. Sign Sebastian, waive Snowden, Hennessy on injured reserve, Denzel Mims, Chris Glazer. Nothing major. It's kind of what we're seeing with the Cowboys. No surprise with Charles Snowden. No surprise. So Charles Snowden is gone. And that is another indicator, I believe, Dallas Cowboys fans. I also believe, and I could be totally wrong, but I also am taking that as that is probably an indicator the Cowboys are going to make a move towards the end of the preseason. All right, got another quick hit. Jadeveon Clowney.
Yes! Here we go!
And you know, the thing with Jadeveon Clowney, I know I shouldn't have felt some type of way, but I don't know about y'all. But when Jadeveon Clowney got signed by somebody else, I felt some type of way. I don't know about y'all. But Jadeveon Clowney.
Yes! Here we go!
Doggone Jadeveon Clowney has went and signed with another team. Jadeveon Clowney reaches a deal with the Houston Texans. I'm happy for him, but I'm not happy for him. It says he's returning to the Houston Texans. The team selected him number 1 in the 2014 NFL Draft. Says Clowney confirmed a report by NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Mike Garofalo that he had agreed to a contract with the Texans. I'm actually happy for him because he gets to go to training camp, and I think it's going to help him. Telling the Houston Chronicle that he has grown up and learned the game a lot more since last playing with Houston in 2018. I feel like I can help the younger guys. I've learned how to lead and what it takes to get to a Super Bowl. I feel like I can help this team, he told the newspaper. The reunion comes after Clowney had visited the Cleveland Browns last week, prompting general manager Andrew Bear to tell reporters he was hopeful his team could strike a deal with the pass rusher. Clowney told the Chronicle that he had received several offers from teams that were interested in signing him. It was really an easy decision. It wasn't about the money. Clowney, who lives in Houston, told the newspaper. Okay, I can see that. He said it's not about the money. I'd definitely like to see what he got paid. It says the Texans defense, and this again, this is the kind of defense that Jadeveon Clowney can thrive on. The defense is already loaded. It's got Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter. I mean, both of these guys are, 27 sacks between the both of them. Now they add Clowney. He's going to fulfill that DeMarcus Lawrence type role. And what really got him there was the Cowboys. The Cowboys, man, gave him an opportunity, and he took advantage of it, and he looked really good with the Cowboys. So last season, he didn't sign with the Cowboys until mid-September and was inactive for a game before getting on the field in week 4. I believe he would have been better had he been here in training camp. In his first 5 games with Dallas, he topped 40% playing time just once, but in each of his final 8 games, he played at least 42%, and his productivity increased. He missed 1 game with a hamstring injury. In 13 games, Clowney was credited with 41 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 33 pressures, and 2 fumble recoveries, 1 forced fumble, and 4 pass deflections. I'm telling you, man, Clowney played well for the Cowboys. He really did. Cowboys, it was a 1-year, $3.5 million deal. And I'm wondering where he will be once, where is he on the Houston Texans as far as his pay goes. But, hey, you know what? I'm happy for Clowney. I really wanted Clowney to be here. But, hey, I'm happy for Clowney. And he's with the Houston Texans, so we're going to see him this season. We'll see what he do. I'm sure he'll be extra motivated against the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm very interested to see him. Ray XFA said, if Stroud can manage the game, then we'll see Clowney at the Super Bowl against us. Man, Rix fan, I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. If I'm the Houston Texans, I am not giving CJ Stroud an extension. Not yet. Not yet. He has been stinking it up. Bass said conveniently we see the Texans this year. Guess they'll know are out. Yeah. You know what though, Bass? I just wonder. He doesn't really just wonder. Thankfully he's not in the division, so I'm not worried about it. But we'll see if We evolved the play calling. He won't know a whole lot. Yeah, Gene Ward, I wanted the Cowboys to keep Clowney. I think he would have been very good on this team. Richard Valera said, telling you, G, the first real game, the defense is going to surprise us. Oh, they're not going to surprise me. Especially against them Giants. No. Hey, I've already said it. I won't be surprised if in the first 2 games of the season, because we're playing the Giants and the Commanders, man, I won't be surprised if we open up top 10 defense in the league. I don't think we're going to stay there. But I think the first 2 games, because you're talking about it's an average. I wouldn't be surprised if we're a top 10 defense. Frank Lawrence said Jadeveon Clowney signed a 1-year contract to reunite with the Texans. Base value $5.5 million. Wow. 8.5 with incentives. He wasn't getting that with the Cowboys. Nah, he wasn't getting that with the Cowboys. Yeah, Darren Posey, CJ Stroud, bro. CJ Cloud. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. All right. Last segment of the day. And man, let me tell y'all, if you have not seen all the plays for the Dallas Cowboys at practice, you are in for a treat. Your boy got y'all. Your boy got y'all. Man, I bet you, and it might be a couple of duplicates from a different angle. Man, I have scoured X. And I got all the plays that they posted, unless they posted some after I stopped looking. Man, let's cue up the music. See what we want to roll with. Man, let's cue up the music. And these are the highlights from the Dallas Cowboys today. Shout out to DallasCowboys.com. Now, you might think this was a catch, but Savon Revel Jr. was on CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens like white on rice. He was on him so good, he actually bobbled the football. It's actually not a catch. Yeah, Savon Revel Jr. balling. If you look at it, you can catch it. Nope. Juggled it. Juggled it. Perfect timing, Roxy fan. He said he just got home. All right. Next highlight. None other than Savon Revel Jr. Look at this, man. A little bit of an overthrow by Dak, but it was very tight coverage. It didn't matter where Dak threw it. Savon, if you'll notice, shout out to Patrick Walker for the slow motion. If you'll notice, Savon had him underneath and he had him over the top. It was going to be tough. Yeah. Yeah. That boy Savon Revel Jr. balled out today, man. If there's an MVP, he balled out. Look at this. Look at this right here. Shout out to Ghostface with the Shed It Short meme. Boy, he got me rolling. All right. Devin Moore. Man, let me tell you something. Cowboys got him another one. We are watching the future cornerbacks for the Cowboys. Savon Revel Jr. and Devin Moore. These are the Cowboys' future cornerbacks. Watch Devin Moore. Tight coverage again. Tight coverage. Tight coverage again. And then, to add injury to insult, he starts talking noise to CeeDee Lamb. Look at this. What? What? Boy, hey, man. Hey, I'm sorry, bro. Man, we got a different breed this year, man. Oh, we got a different breed of player this year. How you gonna be a rookie? You a rookie? Man. Dude, what? This is nasty work right here, bro. This is nasty work right here, man. Man, look at this play right here. I got confidence in I got confidence in Agent Zero, bro. I don't know what folk are talking about with Demarion Overshown and this doggone Mike linebacker. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Watch the quickness, and this dude is about to bring the hammer. Watch this. What? Did Demarion Overshown just knock Hunter Lipke out the frame? Overshown just knocked Lipke out the frame. Look at this. What? This man knocked Lipke out the frame. What? Brandy, I'm telling you right now. I may have to agree with Demarion Overshown. Demarion Overshown said he got the best knees in the NFL. Well, I tell you what, there's two people who believe he might have the best knees in the NFL now. Me and Hunter Lipke. Cause he knocked Hunter Lipke out the frame. He knocked this man out the frame. What? Oh my gosh. Man, Cowboys Nation, I'm telling y'all, we dealing with some different stuff this year, man. We dealing with some different stuff. Boy, these people killing me with the meme. They're killing me with the gifs and the memes. Boy, I love it. I love it, boy. And this right here, this is the play of the day. Play of the day. Miss Matrix, courtesy of Patrick Walker. I am telling y'all, I'm going to have to buy Patrick Walker lunch. Patrick Walker puts his plays in slow motion. Kobe Durant is about to make a cold-blooded play right here. Check this out. This is a cold-blooded play. He peeled off his man. This is actually his man right here. He read Dak Prescott's eyes, peeled off his man, and came back and got this interception. What? Bam. Wow. Wow. Watch it again. He's on number 19. Read Dak Prescott's eyes and peeled off of him. Wow. Kobe Durant picking up where he left off. He was making plays last year in the playoffs against the Bears. Hey, Cowboys Nation, he can play. Kobe Durant can play. He been balling the whole training camp. Now he in pads balling too. Yeah, he can play, Cowboys Nation. Kobe Durant can play. Absolutely. I'm telling y'all, we are dealing with a different breed this year, man. This is that Overshown play. It's a little bit close, so I play it just for giggles. This man knocked this man out the frame. Yeah, get out of here. Hold on, I had to bring back my 5 for him. Golly. What? Knock that man out the doggone frame. Shoot, I ain't mad at it. This is one of the few plays that people recorded today where the offense actually won. This is Dak Prescott to Jake Ferguson. And I don't even think that's Dak Prescott. I think that's Sam Howell, maybe. No, that's Dak Prescott. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's Dak Prescott. Yeah, it's Dak. Yeah. That's Dak. One of the very few plays that the offense actually won today. One of the very few plays. All right, let me clear some of them tabs real quick. Let me clear some of these tabs. Yeah, man. Cowboys defense, woof. Shoot, they like Patty LaBelle, boy. They ain't gonna Cowboys defense got a new attitude up in here. They got new attitude, man. Man, Devin Moore got the unmitigated gall. Devin Moore got the unmitigated gall to get in CeeDee Lamb's face. What? Hey, I saw what you said there too, Bass. Bass, I know what you're wondering. Bass is saying something. Bass said, why didn't CeeDee Lamb say something? Bass, is that what you're talking about? Bass said, why didn't CeeDee Lamb say something, bro? I don't know. All right. This is Ryan Flanoy. One of the very few wins by this offense today. Ryan Flanoy. Nice catch. Nice catch. But DaRon Bland had great coverage. Yeah, just a great throw and great coverage. Yeah, ain't nothing you can do on that, bro. Ain't nothing you can do that. Boy, y'all gotta be rolling in the comments. Mose Logan said, look at CD crying. And then G Ward says, I'm with you, Mose Logan. Boy, y'all got me rolling. Yeah, Bass, I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah, hey, Mose Logan, they like pit bulls, bro. Miss Major said, G, you don't think camp is set up this way to showcase each side of the ball intentionally? I don't know. Some of it's scripted and some of it's not. So I'm not sure on the parts that were not scripted. But again, it's only first padded practice. The true litmus test, Miss Matrix, is going to be August the 11th. It's going to be August the 11th. That's what I'm waiting on. August the 11th gonna tell us everything we need to know, or some of the things. Don't let me say everything. Don't let me say everything. All right. Next up, Caleb Downs stepping up in the run game. Check him out. Caleb Downs. What? Look at Downs. Met Jaden Blue right there. Met him. Bam. Yeah. Nice play by Jaden Blue. Let me tell you something about Jaden Blue. They killing me with the memes today, y'all. Boy, they killing me with this stuff today, bro. They killing me, boy. Yeah, hey, Cowboys fans. We got something to, hey. We got, Cowboys fans. All I'm telling you is, I know it's the first padded practice. I know. All I can tell you is I'm like what I'm seeing. Let's get that on the close-up again. Just another close-up. Man. What? Man, Caleb Downs ain't afraid to mix it up. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell the truth. You know, I just wonder what he did. What he did that have been Javonte Williams doing that though. Oh no. I don't know if he want to see Javonte Williams like that. Shoot, I don't know if a call want to see Javonte Williams coming through like that. All right. This is Dak Prescott to George Pickens. Got it. Got it. Man, Dak looked like he put everything he had on that throw. That's Dak trying to fit that into a tight window. Nevertheless, one of the very few. This is Tyler Guyton going against, I think, Overshown in the second level. He told Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton told Demarion Overshown, I'm not Hunter Lipke. Yeah, you see that? He told, I'm not Hunter Lipke, bro. He said, I'm not Hunter Lipke, bro. Shoot, Guyton said, I ain't Lipke. Stop playing with me. Guyton said, I'm not Lipke, bro. I'm not Lipke. He said, you're going to bring your lunch for this. All right, this is Jake Ferguson. We've already seen this. This is one in the back of the end zone from another angle. Great catch by Ferg. Need to see more of that from Ferguson. Need to see more of that from Ferguson. Okay, this is Phil Maffa. Nice little play from Phil. I think I see Sam Howell back there. Nice, 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 nice. That was nice right there. I don't even think he got touched. Now, again, you know, he did point something out. You know, Brian said no hitting from the side, so any of those side hits that aren't allowing those, but it don't even like it was even an option. Yeah, great little run. Great little run by Javonte Williams. Again, let's make sure we don't put Caleb Downs in that situation. You don't want to see, you don't want to go head up with that man. All right. This is Jayshawn Barham. Jayshawn Barham is about to put a crazy. He's about to put a crazy move on Smith. Watch this. Oh! You see that move by Barham? Let's go back again. Watch this. Out and in. Out in. Oh, it's over. It's over. Hey, Bass. It's a different story out there for CD this year. They are roughing CeeDee Lamb up. This is Kobe Durant. Look at this. Shoot. Them boys is talking noise out there, man. What? Them boys talking noise out there. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Quinn. Yeah, we didn't see this last year. Man, this defense got a new attitude, man, like Patty LaBelle. They got a new attitude, man. They not only making plays, they're talking noise. They're killing me with the memes. They're killing me. Boy, they're killing me on the memes, boy. They're killing me on the memes, man. This is funny. Now, let's see who this is. Trayshawn Holden sighting. Trayshawn Holden. Nice. Joe Milton. Nice. Yeah, nice. Nice by Joe Milton. Yeah, nice right there. Yeah, Cowboys fans. Hey, man. This is Savon Revel Jr. Savon Revel Jr. was out here just balling. This is him on CeeDee Lamb again down here at the bottom. Get the jam on CD. Now that right there is probably pass interference. Even though the play didn't go to CeeDee Lamb. But these guys are being so physical out here. It's crazy. They're not playing around. I'm gonna tell you right now though. The offense gonna come back the next padded practice. You watch what I tell you. It won't be the same. Nah, them boys, it won't be the same. They're gonna be a little bit more riled up the next time the offense. I think the offense got caught off guard by the defense. This is Savon Revel Jr. Watch him. Savon don't make this play last year. Look. Great pass breakup. He don't make that play last year. Yeah, he don't make this last year. Great play. Great play. Savon Revel Jr., man, he's been on it. This right here is just a defensive stop. Check him out. I'm telling y'all, man. Man, these boys ain't playing. And Barham is mean in there, bruh. Yeah, Barham gonna be on the field. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. D Winters better play for his life because Barham is gonna push this man to the limits. All right. Fan favorite Elijah Clark. Yeah, these boys balling, man. These boys balling. Clark came right up. This is what the Cowboys have been missing. This is exactly what they've been missing. Aggressiveness, especially in the run game. You got defensive backs, man. They're coming up making plays. I am so ready to see them against another team. Nice. Nice. That's all I can tell you. Nice. Look at the memes. Look at the memes. They're killing me on these memes, boy. Donovan Ezeraku. Tackle for a loss. Of course, you know they can't hit. Donovan Ezeraku. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'd have been blowed up right there. And Ezeraku was already good on the run last year, though. Ezeraku. Yeah, he was down. That's a slow motion from Pat Walker. Again, man, I'm telling you, it's Cowboys defense. All I can tell you is, first padded practice, these guys show, hey, they brought it. They absolutely brought it. They say, y'all talking about, and you got to think, man, I bet you the defense is a little fired up. Oh, y'all call yourself the greatest offense there is? Oh, okay. Y'all the greatest offense there is? Okay. Noted. Gotcha. Yeah, we're going to show you how great you are. I love it. This is the kind of challenge you actually need if you are truly going to be one of them teams. All right, this is Dak to George Pickens. Nice little play. Let's run that back. Yeah. Them boys nice. Miss Matrix, I actually skipped one segment. I skipped only one today. I skipped Rashawn Gary. But if I'm feeling good, and depending on that Cowboys schedule, y'all keep them. Y'all keep those notification bells on for Cowboys After Dark. We did it the other night. All right, so let's see where we at now. Now we got George Pickens. And this was a good route that he ran. And we're going to see something that we rarely see from George Pickens. Check this out. Ooh, he dropped it. He dropped it. Dak threw him one of them hospital balls. Yeah, you know why he dropped it? Look at where Dak threw it. Man, in a real game, boy, that'd have been a hit. Ooh, that'd have been a hit right there. That'd have been a hit. So that'll break your concentration right there. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see. Touchdown here, I think, by Dak Prescott. Yep. Nice play. Nice play. Yeah, nice play. What he did was down there, he lined up on the end of the line to block. I think that may be Rashawn Gary. He kind of put a little block on Rashawn Gary. Then he ran out for a pass, slipped right by him. Yep, there he is. That's a nice play. Nice play. Nice design. I like to see that, Schotty. Basic but nice. Need more of that stuff. All right, and then this is Shamar James. I don't think they're supposed to be on the ground. But Schoon, I guess he thought he had it easy, but he saw that he didn't have it easy. Stay off the ground. Stay off the ground. Phil Maffa. Touchdown catch by Phil Maffa. Nice little catch there. Might have been from the other day. Let's see. I'm not sure on that. Let's see. Kobe Durant. Boy, they are abusing. This is the first thing I thought. I was like, boy, they are not doing, man. This defense is saying they don't care who CeeDee Lamb is, bro. Yeah, Kobe Durant. Kobe Durant. But I expect this offense to bounce back on these boys, I'm telling you. Dak Prescott to George Pickens. He caught it this time. I wonder if Demo would have hit him had this been like in the real game. It looks like Demo is back here. He went for the ball. Stay off the ground, Demo. Stay off the ground. All right, we got another Dak to Ferg. And we saw that one. That was just a close-up from a different angle. We saw that one earlier. Uh-oh. Mingo sighting. Mingo in the building. Mingo. Nice catch. Mingo, you need a lot more of that, bro. Mingo needs a lot more of this. Nice. Nice. Need a lot more of that, Mingo. Lot more of that, bro. All right. Dak to CD. And again, this is why you're practicing. Got to get that timing right. Dak should have had this ball outside and it was inside. Yeah. And that caused a collision for CD Lamb. Probably don't want that. You want this outside. Yeah, you want that outside. Great catch. But Dak's got to throw that outside. Cavante Turpin. See, he threw that one good to Turpin. But if that would have been full motion, he'd got murked. Ooh, boy, he'd have been, he would have got murked on that play, boy. All right. Let me see. This is Brevin. Brevin span forward from Sam Howell. Nice little play. Fake, turn, roll out. Yeah. Ooh. Malik Hooker. He said, hey, you still gonna get hit. Nice. Damn. Woo. That's tough right there. That's tough. All right, let's see what else we got here. And I think that was right there. That was all the plays that I got for the Dallas Cowboys. Man, I'm telling y'all, man. Ooh. Telling y'all. Man, this Dallas defense, boy. I know it's the first padded practice, so you know, hey. Wow. Tell you this. If there is one thing that I noticed in those clips, is attitude. Man, them dudes' attitude. Man, them dudes' attitude. Boy, them dudes taking no prisoners, boy. Boy, they treating CD like he a rookie wide receiver. What? Boy, they out here treating CD Lamb like he ain't the man. You watch what I tell you, though. Wait until they have their next padded practice. You're going to see the offense being a lot more aggressive. A lot more aggressive. You watch what I tell you. They ain't putting up with that. I got confidence in this offense. They ain't putting up with no disrespect. They ain't putting up with it. I'm telling this Cowboys Nation, they are not putting up with it. They are not putting up with no junk, but I love what I'm seeing. Iron sharpens iron. Christian Parker and that defense, they are saying, we are here to challenge Dak Prescott in this offense. And I'll be honest with you, man, I am absolutely loving it. Woo! Yes. And that's why I keep saying, for everybody who keep talking about what the Cowboys need, I'm all for adding another player. But I'm also for, can we continue to evaluate our players first? Can we continue to evaluate our players? Maybe what we need is more depth. Or if we can get that impact player, we don't have to finance everything, then maybe we go out there and get that player. But I can tell you right now, Cowboys Nation, I like what I am seeing from the Dallas Cowboys defense. Kobe Durant, so far, he's been everything I hoped he would be. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I am a little bit concerned about Jalen Thompson. Jalen Thompson is having these nagging, they're not major, but they're nagging injuries. But Jeremy Betts, are you still in the chat? Let me circle the block on something. I want to put this up on the screen real quick. I want to circle the block on a story. I want to circle the block on the Jadeveon Clowney story. Because, let me see here at the bottom of this article. I'm going to show you something else that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on. So, they were over here on ESPN. Y'all remember, they were talking about Jadeveon Clowney. Well, this has like multiple articles connected to it. Packers right tackle changes his last name. There's something else here, and I've noticed they've been talking about this. Has anybody seen this story? Anybody seen this story? Rams hold Garrett out as he deals with a little soreness. I'm just telling us. Just because you get these players and you think we're going to the Super Bowl, it don't mean you're going to keep those big name players when you go out there and say all that forget the future and F them picks and pay them all the money. Man, you got to be, nobody can predict injuries. At the end of the day, man, you mess around and you predicate all of your success on one player. What happens when that one player go down? Ask the Green Bay Packers. Ask the Green Bay Packers. So he's been held out. He's been held out of practice. I think it's like the second time, maybe. I'm gonna be monitoring this, but I'm definitely monitoring Jalen Thompson. Like I said, I'm not overly concerned. This is the second little nagging injury that he's had. Second little nagging injury. So that's what I got for you today. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, Cowboys Nation. I am sure there will be more news coming down. Y'all be on the lookout. I'm going to put more clips up there. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to do a mashup of two segments. In the segments where they had the takeaway of the players, I'm going to go back and mash up the players and their plays as they're talking. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have that coming sometime tomorrow. So, wow, Aldon Smith passed away 36 years. Wow, that's crazy. Crazy. Wow. Absolutely crazy. Man. Prayers out to his family. All right, Cowboys Nation, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We'll be back tomorrow. Until the next time, DC for real. God bless. Let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.